Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heresy Hammer, a show dedicated to the Horus Heresy. My name is Rob, and today my co-host is Lee, who is above me. Hello, Lee. How are you?
I am very well, thank you very much.
Good.
It is the first week of children being on school holidays.
Yeah. What do you do with your kids in school? Do you just throw them into a
Oh,
summer camp,
just
or do you actually do stuff with them?
we got a shed in the back, so I lock them
Uh,
in there.
Make them
It's
work.
soundproofed, so they can't
Yeah.
hear. The neighbors
Good.
can't hear him screaming.
Excellent.
Um,
Excellent.
yeah, like you just lose your life and just deal with children for the whole time. And you
Excellent.
spend a fucking fortune doing anything. Like we literally went to a park yesterday and it's like £7 parking. Oh, we'll get some fucking food from the cafe, 20 quid from the cafe. It was like, fuck me, we've gone to a park. Like
My advice is not to
30
have
quid
kids.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
it's a
go.
solid advice. Solid advice. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we to cheer you up, Lee, we are going to
Yeah.
be doing our monthly community show. So we are
Yes.
going to be going through the latest news. We are going to be going through a few events. We're going to be going through lists and your questions as well. We will get to questions a little bit later because we had many questions and many lists.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's go straight into our news. So just a little reminder that Heresy Hammer has a events calendar. So if you're looking for events across the UK, we have loads of events coming out of our yin yangs. So if you're an event organizer, you can go on there and you are able to submit your event, and then we will post it on the events calendar. Just having a look with Lee earlier, it's absolutely chock-a-block. November's chock-a-block for full of events at the moment. So yeah, if you are looking for something local to you or even not local, then make sure you check out the events calendar. And also just an event that I thought was pretty cool. So WYSIWYG events are running Prospero Burns called Censure. It's at Element Games. It's on Saturday and Sunday, so the 6th and 7th of Feb next year, and it is themed around Prospero. So I'm assuming that all the kind of like lists and stuff must be kind of like Prospero themed, which is just really awesome to see. So if you've got like a Custodes army, you've got a Malanax army, you've got a Space Wolves Thousand Suns army, Solar Auxilia, make sure you head on over to that event because I think that would be really awesome to see. Right, let's go straight into what we've got. So, Lee, we
Oh,
got
yes.
out of the blue, completely from nowhere, actually.
It
We
was,
got,
yeah. In fact, I believe the day that these dropped, weren't we on a WhatsApp group talking about, I'm sure someone was like, oh, what do we use for
yeah,
combi this or combi that?
yeah.
And then it's like the GW gods were fucking listening into our WhatsApp chat.
Hallelujah. Yeah,
I feel like there's some like Cold War Russian-esque like section of GW that's just monitoring all all nerds talking about
too right.
hobby,
Yeah.
and they were like,
Too right.
"Oh, we will release
Let's throw
these."
him a bone. We won't give him a
Yeah,
fact, but we'll give him some combi weapons.
we'll give them
Okay.
something they
Well,
didn't ask for.
let's get your thoughts on these combi weapons with
Ah,
bolter magazines in the way of the iron sights. Talk us through these
yes.
ones.
Yeah, very Bren Gun-esque.
Yeah.
I am not a fan, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah.
I think these, like, I don't like the idea. Like, I like the look of them. If you, I would buy these and cut the magazine off the top,
Yeah.
and just be like, magic bullets that appear from somewhere. Like, I think they would look 1,000 times better if they didn't have a magazine on them at all. Like,
Yeah.
I just think it looks. These look to me. I feel like you could cut the hands off and stick these on a 40k orc model, and they wouldn't look out of place. Like with that magazine out the top. But
Yeah.
I don't like them. Like I wouldn't use them. I really don't. And it's not just like I don't like them. I fucking hate that magazine coming
Yeah.
out the top. Like I just think
Yeah.
it looks dumb. Like if you like them, fair play. Like we're all different. You're allowed to like them. I'm allowed to not like them. What I do like is the shotguns at the bottom. Like
They
I
are
think the
hot.
shotguns look fucking great, and I like the fact they've done one with just one hand, so you don't have to have them all like being held two-handed.
Yes.
Yeah, really like these. Like completely different to the original kind of Forge World started shotgun.
a major improvement, I feel,
Yeah, and
on
this is funny,
this one.
isn't it? Because they do this. They keep releasing things and then they'll change stuff, and it's either feels like it's either a complete hit or
Yeah,
a complete fucking miss.
yeah, nowhere in the middle. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I thought I was looking through the slides last night, and for people who may be new to the heresy, who might not know, what combi weapons used to look like. If you look at the pictures on the left, if you can't, if you're listening to Spotify, apologies, but like the top one is the combi weapon from, I believe, was it
the trailer
the
couth.
yes, box set. So it was a plastic Mark IV models. You had this combi bolter, and I think this looks still now fucking awesome.
Hmm.
It's like an underslung combi weapon, like flamer, melter,
Hmm.
plasma, but you still have like a box magazine at the bottom rather
Yeah.
than being stuck on top. And then below that is like I used to have this set, a really old Forge World combi flamer bolter. I mean, this is a like a Mark 7 bolter, I think, isn't it? It's
Hmm.
not a
Hmm.
Heresy model, but I
No,
mean,
no.
that looks fucking great. I think that looks awesome. And then the one below that was like the resin versions of the plastic one from the Betrayal of Calf. I think these came before the Betrayal of Calf, but they were just like the resin Forge World combi weapons. Again, you had plasma, melter, etc. And I think they look great. And then below that is a 40k combi weapon, which I think looks awesome, like an old 40k. And then the bottom one is a current Primaris combi. I don't know what they call them, like bolt rifle combi weapon thing. And again, I think that looks fucking awesome. Like, I just think I don't know why they've decided to do a kind of World War II Bren gun style magazine at the top, but it just doesn't
Mm,
feel, it does, to me, it doesn't fit the aesthetics of what we've seen previously for the Heresy.
mm, mm.
I don't know. I'm not a fan, but like there's so many other options and 3D printing and whatnot out there that it's not really a big problem.
It's not a big problem
How
at all.
how do
Yeah.
you feel about them?
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't got that many emotions about them really. I think for me, I just saw them as like, yes, those are going to be useful. They're slightly a different design to what we're used to, exactly as you say. Like, I mean, they're not orky in their look, but it's orky because I associate that kind of like Top Magazine as a bit
Yeah,
orky.
yeah, yeah.
Stolen it from the orcs on Ullanor, clearly. What I do want to echo your point though, which is that what I really really appreciate with a kit like this is that we have
Yes. Yeah,
one-handed
yeah, yeah.
versions because for kind of like a sergeant pointing or whatever, that's massively useful. Or one gun and then a close combat weapon. Combining that with the melee weapon kit, I think is really really useful, really cool. And then the only thing I want to say, and somebody more knowledgeable than me might be able to tell me whether this is right or not, is that we don't currently have a combi weapon set for Terminators. And
No, no.
so, but the hands for the new Terminators are the same hand size as normal Marines.
Oh, yeah, of
So,
course.
what they didn't say in the article, just look at, I've got it up here. So, what they've said is like you can be used for Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV, and Mark VI, but they haven't said, oh, the single armed ones can also be used for. Um,
Interesting.
so I don't know what it's going to look like because with a combi bolter for a Terminator, you obviously lose a barrel and then a barrel gets replaced with the yeah. So whether they'll
Yeah,
produce a because that is one of the big things that is missing actually within the range, the combi weapons like sets for Terminators,
interesting. Yeah.
and
But
within
then
PDCs.
it's interesting because if I think of, I'm trying to think of a model that has a combi. The Cataphracti Warsmith for the Iron
Yeah,
Warriors.
yeah,
The
yeah,
combi weapon he has is in the design of this. It doesn't have the magazine at the top, but it's like
yeah.
one barrel on top of another, kind of bolt gun-esque, rather
Yeah,
than the combi
and
bolters that we used to get.
the other one is the Sons of Horus. I know this is it's a few years old, this, but the Sons of Horus Cataphracti Praetor, that has what I would describe as a much more kind of like older, archaic Forge World style,
Right.
but just with a bigger hand underneath it. So it'll be
Interesting.
interesting to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
whether you
yeah.
can use these for that. But of
And
course, yeah, I just think it's interesting. So yeah,
one other thing that is missing is you can take kind of combi bolters on veteran
yeah,
tactical marines,
yeah.
etc.,
We
and
don't have
there
those, do
is
we?
no
No.
no. So that
Yeah.
was a little bit strange.
Some kind of double barreled, like, yeah,
Yeah,
gun or
something.
something.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you could use anything really, I think, but yeah, like I was half expecting
Yeah.
to see a double-barreled bolt gun to be used as a combi bolter, so I
Yeah.
was a little bit surprised that that
Yeah.
wasn't in it. But like, it's funny, isn't it? Because I spent like 5 minutes fucking moaning about these, but actually, like, it's just another thing, isn't it? If you like them, use them. If you don't, there's a million 3D printers out there.
Literally, right? Like,
So
yeah,
yeah,
100%. Or saw some of the old ones, whatever works for you. Cool. Okay.
yeah,
Let's have a look what is next. So we continue our journey into the lore of the Horus Heresy with these individual kind of books. We've obviously had one for Constantine, we've had them for Sigismund, we've had the Primarch books, and it is Raudron's turn. So if you are into
yes.
Blood Angels, you're into the first captain, then why not get this book? Radron as a character, yeah, I'm pretty emotionless about Radron as a character. Um,
Yeah,
but
I'll be
yeah,
honest. I don't think I've read any of the kind of books that revolve just around Blood Angels. Not that there's a huge amount
no,
in the Heresy uh saga, but yeah,
mm,
no, they're not my first. Like, oh my God, there's a Blood Angels book. I have to read it. It's like, oh, space vampires.
mm. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, but as I say, this goes back. I think this is prior to Beta Garmin. So it says here, as the Blood Angels begin the mass
Oh,
recruitment of hastily trained inducti in an effort to blunt Warmaster Horus's conquest of the Garmin cluster. So yeah, it's interesting that they are going back and kind of like cherry picking. We've seen that a couple of times now.
yeah,
So we obviously had the Drop Site Massacre book come out. Which kind of like went back into the Horus Heresy. So it's clearly not, they've clearly not like tied a bow around it and kind of gone, this is done. This is going to be
no,
continuing this
but
kind of
then it's
thing.
interesting, isn't it? I seem to remember us having a conversation quite a while ago of what we thought would happen once they finished the Heresy series, and I
Yeah.
think we did kind of think like, I wonder whether they just go back and flesh out
Yeah.
certain stuff. Because I mean, you could just make up anything, couldn't you? You could make up an entire massive campaign
Yeah.
that has just never been mentioned
Yeah.
before and just retcon it into the Heresy. So.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
It'll be interesting, yeah, because they've obviously released kind of the first of the scouring.
Well, I've been quite surprised by how slow that they've been with the scouring
I
books.
agree, yeah. So, but it is there. So,
Mm,
is that going to be their next big focus, or are they going
yeah.
to keep uh,
Yeah.
kind of dropping back into the heresy? But yeah, like this is a good one. Like if you're obviously a Blood Angels fan, like this is probably quite huge. But
Yeah.
like I say, but me personally, I've just never really been. Maybe I need to give it a go. I've got the books, I just never read them.
Yeah, Fear to Tread is the first one, isn't it? They're quite good in the like the Unremembered Empire kind of like series of books. Not
Yeah, so
actually,
I
they're not
read
actually in
those,
that.
but
They're not actually in that book.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's really more sanguineous than anybody else. Anyway, cool. Okay, if you're a
Cool.
Blood Angels player, let us know what
Yeah.
you think. Cool. Let's have a look at what is next. Right. So this is interesting for me because I downloaded. I'm basically doing a reread of the Horus Heresy series. My
Oh, interesting.
So
Yeah.
after doing that interview with Heresy Era, I was really like, what do I actually love the Horus Heresy for? And it's just the books. Like that is the main thing for
Why
me.
am I here?
Why do I do this thing called Heresy Hammer? Why is my entire life and career built around Horus Heresy? And doing that with him, I was really reminded of kind of like those early nostalgic feelings of like reading the books for the
Yes.
first
Yeah.
times and the early Horus Heresy. And so I was like, you know what, I'll do a reread, at least if not the whole series, then at least like the first 20 books. And
Oh, wow. Oh,
I
okay. Yeah, yeah.
re-downloaded. It's really common for me to reread. Like I think the last book of the Wheel of Time, I've read that like reread that or re-listened to that like
So
10 times now.
I've done what you've done, but I've
Mm.
done it for like the first 3, 4 books. I haven't
Okay.
done it for the first
First
20.
20. Okay,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So what I would say, so a couple of things on this one, if you are unaware. So Toby Longworth, I think, did the original books, and so there were some, I think the earliest books, there were sometimes they were abridged. So if you're unfamiliar with that word, it just means that basically they kind of like cut places within the audiobook to get it to fit. And this is like the early
Oh,
period
okay.
of the audiobooks, like Black Library audiobooks. I think they
Yeah.
kind of really were blazing a trail for them, not for audiobooks, but for them
Yeah.
with this series. Um, and but the I I think the Horus Rising one was abridged when I originally bought it, so I
Right.
rebought the Horus Rising, and it was done by Jonathan Keeble. So they've made
Uh,
Jonathan Keeble redo the earliest audiobooks.
okay.
Um, and they've redone the covers of the books as well to be much in keeping with what our expectations of what the Horus Heresy is. Whereas some
Right.
of the early artwork, obviously with like False Gods and Horus Rising, I think the artist. I think it's Neil Roberts, I think was the artist for it. He was
Right.
basically like, I'm just going to do whatever. Like, I'll just do whatever it takes my fancy. It doesn't like, they
Gonna
had
take
like
some
loads of, you
LSD.
know what I
Gonna
mean? Like,
fucking.
because like lots of the artwork has like, lots of their pauldrons and stuff have like angels on and stuff like that,
Oh, of course. Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like
They are just random.
medieval style kind of like
Yeah.
iconography.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas as the Horus Heresy has become much more defined, um, and they've added more color to it. Obviously, anyway, I suppose the
Yeah.
point is that they are redoing the books in hardback, and the covers are being redone.
Yeah.
And this is the latest one, Galaxy in Flame. So I think we can expect Jonathan Keeble to narrate this one. This one's going to be coming out soon, if it's not already out. And then we've got some cool artwork, and this is the first time we've seen Tarek from the Mourniform. So we've got Axeman versus Tarek, and then Loken
Of
versus
course.
Abaddon.
Yes.
So
I
this
mean,
is
I
a
do like this. This is a fucking
yeah.
awesome picture.
So I would love to get this artwork and actually have it in here, because this
Yeah.
is like, if you want this just really for me epitomizes the Horus Heresy in microcosm, which is just brother against brother, and who were closer than those Mournival brothers,
Yes.
torn
Yeah.
apart
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
Horus Heresy. So yeah, absolutely love it. So
Oh,
yeah.
I would, yeah, if you've read the novels and you read them like, 10 years ago or whatever, like even 5 years ago, I do think it's worth going back. Even if you just
Oh man.
reread like the first three
Yeah.
novels, like you kind of just go, oh shit,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
this is,
two things that I would draw out of it. Number one is that quite a lot of our understanding of what the Horus Heresy is and the lore behind it has actually changed since that first book. So, the example I always use is that when Loken goes into the Whisperheads, he's got he's got some attached Cataphracti units with him, and
right,
they're not like part of the first company. They are just like they are his
just
Cataphracti
dudes.
guides as part of his 10th company. They're a squad of his, but they're just armored in Cataphracti or Terminator
Yeah,
armor. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
even sure they call it Cataphracti armor. I think they just call it generic Terminator armor.
right.
And in that book, it actually says it's a brand new, it's brand new armor, Terminator armor. It's heavily, and that's not how we understand it. Like Terminator
Right.
armor didn't come in at the end of the Great
Yeah.
Crusade,
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it?
yeah. Okay,
Like
yeah.
that's not. And they were saying that it's so new that in fact many legions didn't even have Terminator armor, and that's definitely not the case from our understanding of like
Interesting.
the Horus
Okay.
Heresy. So there's stuff within those early books where they're clearly kind of like still defining what the Horus Heresy would look like.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and they haven't interfered with the book and gone and kind of like just changed some of the lore
Yeah.
elements of it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God,
Um,
yeah, that's a fucking rabbit hole, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
so yeah, that's
yeah.
an interesting one. Oh,
But
and the
yeah,
other one
yeah,
is
yeah.
just how naive
Hmm.
Loken is about just the world. I'd forgotten how naive kind of he was, and he's
Yeah, okay.
stalwart and all those things. But yeah,
Is
interesting.
it naivety or is it brainwashing?
I don't know. Maybe a combination of the both. Kind of the Imperial Truth is a big arc for him,
I
and
mean,
is
they're
very very important for
literally
him.
produced in like the most kind of dystopian dictatorship ever. Like,
Mm.
you're gonna be just believing whatever you get told, aren't you?
I suppose what was unusual, or what I found weird going back, was that he is so. So naivety is probably wrong. He's so painfully earnest in a
Right.
way that,
Okay.
like, the Sevatar is just the complete opposite. Cynical and badass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
Loken is so painfully earnest, and obviously he stands for all the things that the Great Crusade kind of like stood for.
Yeah.
Um, but he just has no cynicism about it. And for my characters, I like them to have a little bit of an edge and a little bit of
Yeah. We all
cynicism as
prefer
well.
Sevatar, don't we?
Oh my God, yeah. If only he'd been the main character of the Horus Heresy series.
Oh man, I'd buy that.
Cool.
Anyways, there's a slight rabbit hole we've gone
Yeah.
down there.
Cool. Right, let's carry on. Let's see what else is new. Right, we've got some new Black Book articles. So they haven't really given us too much, like giving us some scraps of combi weapons, and yeah, we got the Mark IV, which kind of came out of
Oh yeah,
nowhere, I
you say
feel.
that. I mean, we had an entire box of
Yeah, I
Mark
suppose. I
IV.
suppose. Anyway, but what they've been also doing in that time is also giving us some Black Book pages, which are
Yes.
just really cool. Like, if you like the Horus
Yeah.
Heresy, you've not read them before, then make sure to check them out because they're
If
absolutely.
you got into the Heresy like second edition onwards and you've never read any of this stuff, like I highly advise to go and read it and download it and just like enjoy what I would class is kind of peak heresy lore. For me personally, I just think the Black Books are like the epitome
Yeah.
of heresy lore.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, definitely. If you're interested in the lore at all, like go give these a read. Like the stories are fucking brilliant. Like the background information that they give on the legions and stuff. Like it's absolute peak heresy. I really do think so. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. And I have to say again, we've said it before, but hats off to GW for releasing this stuff because like yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, nice one. Cool. Okay, I think
All
with
right.
that we've got some of our hashtag Heresy Hammer. So we've got
Yes.
some really awesome ones this week. So first up, we've got Dan, who's done an Arvis lighter, and I assume it's a White
Absolutely
Scars.
love this.
Like, in
Yeah,
fact, yeah,
yeah.
is it like a allied?
Soul Auxilia. Yeah, what do they call
Yeah,
them?
White Scars.
Auxilia Legiones or whatever.
Man, that's actually
Um,
really interesting. That isn't it? Like using kind of like this pale brown color and then combining it with some of the iconography of the white scars really
I
tasteful, isn't it?
absolutely love this. Like, I think it's fucking amazing, and it's so
Yeah,
simple. It's like, yeah, like you say, it's like
yeah,
a light browny grey, light browny color with some red stripes and some silver engines, but like it just works really well.
yeah.
Like, I absolutely
Really
love
tasteful,
this
isn't it?
model. Yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
curious to know where
really
Dan
good.
got those transfers from as well, because they look like custom transfers to me. I don't recognize they're not off
Yeah, I
the
don't
sheet.
know actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
no. Yeah,
so
that'd be interesting if
I'm curious
you
to know.
could tell us because yeah, I mean, again, it will never happen, but I would love to do some
If
stuff.
one day, yeah,
Yeah.
when
Some
Heresy Hammer
Legion.
makes 20 grand a month,
Oh,
and
fucking hell.
then we can quit our
Mike.
jobs, and
Oh,
then we can
no.
paint all the time. That would be the day. Right. I'm going to assume it's Jacob. We would say Jacob, but it's got a K, so I assume it's a bit more harsh than
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We've got a command squad, either a
Mm.
Centurion command squad or a Praetorian command squad,
More white
White
scars.
Scars, which is really, yeah, hot to see. Loads of transfers on them, on the shields and stuff, which looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Don't recognize the bodies. They're kind of like a combination of Mark Five.
Yeah. I don't know. Are
Um,
these?
yeah, these
Yeah.
look like 3D prints to me
Yeah.
with a
Yeah,
couple
I'm
of
not sure. But yeah.
GW bits, but yeah, nice. And then they've got these mallets, I guess, power maws, but they look very,
Yeah,
very
they
fine.
look fucking great. Like I love these. Again, I love the individuality on each dude. Like everyone's got their own like
So they
little
have, haven't they? Yeah, yeah.
kind of thing on their shields and
And this
whatnot.
is
Yeah.
why I'll never do white scars because of all that individuality. I like
Yeah.
the
See,
uniformity and boringness of Ultramarines.
I am exactly the same,
Yeah,
which is why I like Iron Warriors because I feel like they
yeah,
would
man.
all just be exactly the same, apart from the occasional hazard stripe because you did something good.
Super.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
have a
yeah.
look.
But
What
yeah,
else we got?
it
Well done,
looks
guys.
sick.
That's nice. So we've got Chris. So I've been seeing Chris's work
It's
on
fucking
Instagram
awesome.
actually. He's done some really beautiful Sons of Horus. with the new Mark IV. He's an amazing painter. Chris, if you have got your Instagram, make sure to put it down below. We haven't got it here, but yeah, he's done an absolutely awesome job. And I love actually, it never occurs to me to do this, but using like numbers on the armor. I don't do that a
Yeah.
lot, but yeah, seeing that here, I think it works really, really tastefully. Not the Roman numerals, but just like he's got 39027. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
like mechanical markings, maybe, or something like
Yeah,
those
I'm not
numbers.
sure. Yeah, maybe.
But they look good. Yeah, he's done a great job, and bases are really, really tasteful. Teeny
Yeah.
tiny little tufts there. I don't know what tufts
Yeah.
he's used, but yeah, let us know because they look cool.
Yeah. Looks
And then
awesome.
Lawrence, we've got
Oh, look at this.
some.
Is the stuff of nightmares, isn't it? Look
Yeah,
at
man
this.
alive,
Holy
this is
fuck.
frightening. So we've got some world eaters here. What looks to be some kind of champion. It's a kit bash between Fafnir Ran, and then it's also got the head of the new Hurin Blackheart champion, like the headsman on it. Um,
Oh, is that what that's from?
yeah,
That
yeah.
works really well.
Yeah, it's really terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be very frightened to see this
Yeah.
guy coming towards me. This would make a good apothecary as well, actually. Like if he had enough decent
Yeah,
looking.
apothecary. I was thinking chaplain.
Yeah, chaplain. Yeah, that'd be good.
But
Oh my God, that's a great helmet for a chaplain, isn't
yeah,
it? Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's nice. Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, this is
Yeah, well done,
literally
Norris. This is great.
like
Very,
horrific in a good way.
yeah. So we've got James got a lovely
Yeah,
laser vindicator here, and yeah, it's just terrific. It's everything
yeah,
that you would
yeah,
come to expect from the Horus Heresy, and I
yeah.
really admire the fact that you have painted every single one of those rivets there. That is brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, you fool.
Well done. It does look
Yeah,
awesome though. You've
it
done
does
it.
make it pop, but
It does,
also,
yeah, yeah. It's probably
how
worth the
is your
effort, isn't it?
sanity?
Yeah. And then Marcello, we have got a really nice
I love
Imperial.
this.
I want to say Imperial Fist. It's got some
I
head
would
struts on
guess
there.
Imperial Fist,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we've got a really lovely Imperial Fist Arachne, and yeah, it's really tastefully done. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful
Yeah,
job. I
yeah,
love
yeah, yeah,
this. Yeah, you've done amazing work on this one. So good
yeah,
job.
yeah.
Cool.
It's awesome,
Let's have a look
awesome.
what's
Oh,
next.
more. Ben.
Yeah. Okay. So Ben, Painted Teeth on Instagram. He's been working on some custodies. This was his test model. He did it was rose gold, so it's obviously quite pink in tone, and is really tastefully done. He's a really really talented painter, and on top of that, he's done a really cool kind of like blade effect. I
Yeah,
asked him
that
where that
blade
was
looks fucking
because I saw
insane.
Trevelyan on YouTube like do like a tutorial with a similar kind of blade. And I said, "Oh, is that the tutorial you use?" He was like, "Yeah, combining it with somebody else's." But Trevelyan just used some like airbrushing to get that kind of like light effect, and it
Right.
looks brilliant. So definitely worth it. He's done a short on it, and it's definitely worth checking out. But yeah,
It,
Ben's done a great job on this.
yeah, looks awesome. Yeah.
And then Eduardo, we got some more World Eaters from you, and some amazing Serum pattern helmets. I can't remember if it was you I was
Yeah.
asking about Serum pattern helmets,
Oh.
but those Serum pattern helmets are absolutely
But
gorgeous.
this is a mismatch though, isn't it? Because you've
Yeah,
got a couple of the new ones. You've
yeah,
got the one on the right is the old
yeah,
Forge
yeah,
World.
man.
And then the two front ones, I don't recognize them.
No,
I don't
I
know.
think they're either 3D prints or, if I remember correctly, I think he commissioned them. But that might be
Oh,
somebody else, and he got
interesting.
somebody to make them. But those Serum Pattern
They look
helmets are
great.
gorgeous. Yeah,
Yeah. I
really, really
forgot
nice.
about the one on the right. I forgot they even
Yeah,
existed.
man. Yeah, the
Proper
Warriors have
old school.
loads of Forge World, like
Yeah.
different styles of heads.
I love the kind of bunny ears, the corn-esque.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I love it. Like just the symbolism of like what is to come. Like, yeah. But yeah, great job. Awesome. And
100%.
good
Nice work.
blood.
Yeah, awesome, awesome work. And make sure you put your hashtags down in the comments below, guys, so people can follow you because these look terrific.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Right.
it.
We're on to our
That is
questions. So
it.
Lee's going to start walking us through these. So we've got a lot of questions
Do
and
you
we've
wanna
got a
take a
lot of
quick
lists.
break or
Yeah,
shall we
let's do
go
it.
straight
Let's take a
into
break.
it?
No, let's take a
We'll have a
break
quick
now.
break and then when we come back we'll do question.
It's time to upgrade your battlefield with Sacrus Mundus Terrain. Sacrus Mundus sculpt breathtakingly detailed and varied terrain that will bring your games of Horus Heresy to life. From the ruined cities of Armoria to the jungle vestiges of Lintrath, Sacrus Mundus design immersive battlefields for any type of tabletop wargaming experience you desire. Find their extensive terrain collections online right now
Right, welcome back. Well, I'm not sure when it was. A few days ago, we put a post up on our Patreon, basically asking for questions, and the patrons did not fail. We can't do all the questions because there's fucking millions, and we got a ton of lists as well. So
Yeah.
we'll go through the questions first, and then we'll go through the list. So
We do
first up,
appreciate all your questions though. Like even
yeah,
if we can't get through them, like I mean, just to say on lists, Kerry messaged us last night and was like, we've been sent 40 lists, you know, and Kerry was like, I've chosen five. I was like, we've got to do 10. We've got to do at least 25% of the list that we've been sent this month. So we got a lot of lists to get through.
but
So yeah, so
if you have a question that's a burning question that we haven't answered, like just email us. Just say, "Oi, dickheads! Like you didn't answer my question,
yeah.
but I actually really, really want it." Or put it up when we do the next one.
Yeah, we try and get through as many as we can, but
Yeah,
yeah.
we are mere mortals. So Chris Taylor up first. Do the new Zone Mortalis rules make Leviathans viable again in ZM, or are they just going to get stuck behind doors and confined spaces? Well, I think the fact that you can essentially choose what you make doors and confined spaces, what size you make them, means as long as you and your opponent agree, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, it's interesting. I was reading some of the comments we had when me and yourself did the Zone Mortalis, the first part of the Zone Mortalis rules. Because I was a bit whingy about the way they've done the doors, and like this, people made the point of this is exactly why it is a good thing. Because previously it has actually restricted you. Like I think in first edition it was based off base size,
It
wasn't
was
it?
base
So if it was
size, yeah.
below a base, if it was above a certain size, you literally couldn't take them. And I think Leviathans were one of them that you just couldn't take. So the good thing with the way they've written the rules now, and I have to say, like now I've had more time to look at it. Sorry, my fucking seat keeps dropping, buckling under the way. Is yeah, I just need to shut the fuck up, and yeah, actually, it's a really good idea. Like once you get your head around it, like you can do what you want. So yeah, essentially, as long as you agree with your opponent, Leviathans are absolutely viable again, and I think we will see quite a few of them in Zone Mortalis.
Yeah, man.
And
I
I'll be
think
interested. Go on,
sorry.
sorry.
No, just two things. The first one, say, just an addition about confined spaces. Quite a few Mechanicum players came out of the woodwork when we did that Zone Mortalis
Yes.
episode, and they were like,
Yeah.
The problem is that you don't realize for a Mechanicum player as a Legion player how difficult it is to get stuff through doors
Yeah.
because we have quite large base sizes, and a Myrmidon isn't
Yeah.
able to get through a 2-inch door as a result of that.
Yeah.
And so that's probably not a good example, but they were just like, because of our
No.
bulky values, it's actually quite difficult for us to get to places in the Zone Mortalis. And then loads of mechanical players were just like, this has basically sorted out all our problems. So
Yeah.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
really nice to see.
And I'll give a prime example for that is the Vorax.
Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure they're on like 60 mil bases, are they?
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
But they're bulky free.
yeah. There you go.
So
Literally
they're
a
just
great example. Yeah, a
running
great
straight for
example.
it. So yeah, I was a bit whingy about that. I think my point was it's rules upon rules, and I'm someone who doesn't get to play very often. So when I have to remember the rules and then I have to remember rules upon rules, it starts becoming a bit like fucking hell.
Yeah,
But a
yeah,
lot of
man.
people did say like actually once you've played it, it's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's absolutely fine and
Just
actually benefits a lot of people. So
yeah,
yeah.
just going back to the original question, I think yeah, Leviathans are totally viable in Zone Mortalis. I mean, what I don't, because when I first read this question, I was like, does he mean in comparison to the main game? Are they viable in Zone Mortalis in comparison to the main game, or are they viable from previous editions of Zone Mortalis? I
Right.
think both, and I think Leviathans will be powerful. Partly because they'll be able to hold up stuff in corridors, and partly because of that phosphex discharger. Like that phosphex discharger is going to be really
So
lethal
good.
in
So
Zone
good. But
Mortalis.
it will be
Um,
interesting. It will be interesting to see if people start making like ZM based Leviathans because I
yeah,
tend to take like Volkite on mine for the range.
But you could
But
definitely be
actually,
like,
heavy
yeah,
flamers.
flamers are going to
Yeah.
be a good option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I
Yeah.
can see me building another Leviathan purely for Zomatalis
Yeah, I
in the
think
future.
Yeah, 100%. I think the problem, I mean, this goes to a wider issue of just dreadnoughts, just in general, particularly like this is the case, particularly with Leviathans, which is that because of damage weapons, they're much more, I mean, they can pop smoke, but they're much more susceptible to kind of being killed on the first turn
Yeah.
roll. And the benefit of Zone Mortalis is that generally won't happen unless you've got somebody with like 4 laser rapiers pointing down like a corridor, which I think is
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
unlikely in Zone Mortalis.
Yeah.
Where the problem I think you will find is that, you know, can people I would have thought one Leviathan in ZM is plenty, and I wouldn't take any more than that. But will people lose
Yeah.
their minds and take 3 Leviathans in the bulwark detachment, and just be completely unable to control themselves with it because they're so strong? So I think time will tell, but yeah, I think they're a good addition. But one in the list I think is plenty, and that will eat
Yeah.
up like I don't know what is it like 8% of a 8%, maybe 7.5% of a list. So yeah, just control yourself. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, agreed. And I have to say, like, the hype from So Mortalis is
Man,
through the
off the
roof.
chain, off the
Like
chain.
this is
Yeah,
the most hype I've seen for third edition since the initial release. I would say, like, and we all know how the initial release kind of went. So yeah, this like 10 out of 10 to
yeah,
the
really
team
good.
because they've done a good job with the
Great
So
job.
Mortalis book. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, get building Leviathans. Weedy Channel 739 said, I frequently play against a Dark Mechanicum player and seem to always struggle to deal with their units. What would you suggest for fighting mech? And we kind of we had a quick look through these before we did the show, didn't we? And we were a bit like, oh, what do you do against Mechanicum? Like mech are in a weird place, to be honest. I find mech like I'm not a mech player, but I use mech units in my Legion list, and I use Allied Mechanicum, and I find list writing for Mechanicum really hard, the way it is at the minute. But I mean, we kind of said essentially, and this feels a little bit obvious, but you need kind of high strength, low AP, high damage, really, don't you? That's your, and a lot of automata are kind of 3+ saves, so even AP-free weapons are going to be putting some hurt on Mechanicum units. But I'd be looking at things like autocannons, like heavy autocannon squads, things like that. Anything else, Rob? Any
Yeah. So I
graviton?
think yeah, yeah, pin 'em. Yeah, I think there's a couple of things just to draw out of this one, and yeah, me and Lee kind of went through this, particularly with a focus on this question when we were preparing for the episode. So the first one is, I think, just with mechanic. Let's just ignore the dark mech element. Let's just talking about
Yeah,
mech for the moment. Mechanic can pour out a lot of statuses. So I think an obvious one there is that if you aren't taking nuncios on everything, that's probably a bit of an error. And then on units where you can't take a nuncio vox, I would question whether you're taking an apothecary to give you +2 to your, well, it's -2, but to help you with those checks.
yeah,
Which I think will be important because the Narthesium gives you a leadership buff. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then go over to the Patreon and go watch the episode we did about apothecaries, because for 30 points, they are useful on units that can't take Nuncio Voxes. So that's the first one, because you need to be able to survive. The second one is, and this is an interesting one, and I think that Mechanicum players will kind of lament this one, is that really you need to outscore them. So you really need to stick to the game
yeah. I was gonna
and
say
and
this.
just be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's where legions are able to really do
yeah.
do hurt to
100%.
Mechanicum, which is not necessarily during the game, but it's in the end game and the scoring.
Yeah,
And that is really really critical. So you'll have to take plenty of line units if you do
yeah.
want to score.
Mechanicum rely on comptroller for their line.
Yeah,
So if you have kind of precision shots and you can get rid of
yeah,
those whatever they're using, Magos, Tech Priest to score that comptroller, then that's going to have a massive impact on their ability to score. Yeah, and also an impact on their cyberthurgy and
Yeah.
just generally fixing
Yeah.
robots or tanks or
Yeah.
whatever they're using.
So Lee mentioned autocannons. The other one I would follow up on is missile launchers as well. So I think missile launchers in various forms, right? I mean, they
Yes,
come in
yeah,
the
yeah,
form of Sakaran missile launchers. That's quite versatile. Missile launcher squads, etc., etc. Those things are often overlooked by Legion players because they're not like a strength 8 AP3 weapon that's like the
mm,
damage 1 or 2. You're just like, yeah, well, they'll just bounce off Terminators. But in against the Castellax, like they'll just nuke a Castellax, like especially if they're
yeah,
stationary missile launchers. Um,
yeah,
so that's the missile launchers will be one to look at as well. And then just one final thing I'd say, me and Lee spoke about this before as well, is that I think it's really hard with um, uh, target priority is tough with against Mechanicum. So I think you do have to think very carefully about before you shoot something. Kind of saying, can I kill it in one turn confidently? And if I cannot, is it worth me focusing on something else? Because one of the things that I often encounter is that you play, say, like a Thanatar, you can get it down to its last 1 or 2 wounds because they have like a 5-up invulnerable save, blah 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 blah, all those things, right? So they've made some saves across the board. You get it down to its last wound, and then you're like, I just couldn't quite do it. And then your opponent then is able
Beep,
to
beep, beep,
put
beep, beep.
six whole points back or 6 wounds
Yeah,
back onto
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So all the work that you put in is just
yeah,
completely gone.
yeah.
Um, because of that. And I think that that's important. Target priority is really important. Kind of saying, is this a bit of a long shot to be able to get rid of this? And if that is the case, is it worth investing looking at target prioritization elsewhere? So hopefully that's given you just a few kind of bits of things just to mull on and chew on.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Damn Mechanicum. Up next, Hernan Cortez. How would you make militia work at 3,000 points?
Hernan
Not to win any
Cortez
tournaments.
too busy invading the in Tenochtitlan and
uh, not to win any tournaments, but to at least be well-rounded enough to win a game. Fucking militia. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think we're just going to put a pin in this one, aren't we?
yeah,
Because
we yeah.
we'll be honest, we don't know. Like, it's been a long time since I looked at the militia rules. I think what I would say, like straight off the bat, is I feel like if you're running militia, you're leaning into a theme. It's to have fun, rather not to say that you don't want to win and have fun, but I feel like militia is more of what am I trying to say? It's like a passion piece, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
like you're doing it because you love the idea of lots of humans just getting murdered in the 31st millennium. But what we will do is we're going to go off and have a look, and then we'll get back to you in maybe the next community show. Do
I
we
think that makes
reckon?
sense. Yeah.
With some ideas of how to make militia work, because yeah, it's been so long since I looked at the rules. I don't think anything we could tell you now would actually be beneficial. But I mean, there are a few things I know of, like outflanking certain units that are quite strong. But yeah, we will get back to you. We will not forget. We will make a note, and we will do it in the next community show with some actual militia knowledge rather than just trying to guess. Yeah. So up next, Alex H. With big multiplayer games, what's the best way to keep games running smoothly? I found a single challenge being played out can kill all momentum. Yeah, this is a hard one, isn't it? Like, I've only ever played a few, like, really large multiplayer games, and I've not played any in third edition. But I've always found large multiplayer games a little bit boring because there is always an element of just waiting for someone to do something. And when there's a lot of players on both sides, it can really start to slow down. I think maybe limiting challenges to only doing like a couple of rounds of fighting each is probably one way. I also think you need to kind of time your games. You need to time the each turn and have a time limit for each kind of movement phase, shooting phase, because the trouble is you got so many people that people start having conversations, they're fucking about. Some people are doing one thing, some people start moving ahead because they get bored of waiting, and you just end up kind of all over the place. But I mean, it's been so long since I've played a large game. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think probably the first thing you need to do is say to yourselves when you go into the large game, the idea of tactics and having a strategy game, it just goes out the window.
Yeah.
And really, this is just some mates pissing about for the day.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
probably,
yeah.
depending on the number of players that you've got and the number of points, I'd probably give yourself a whole day and kind of just say, look, like we're just, you know, uh, we're just going to have a bit of a piss about here. We're going to reenact a battle, and then we'll just see what happens, and we'll chat shit. I think Lee's right. Limiting each side to 45 minutes per turn. If you've got an entire day to do it, and you kind of go, you have a timer, and you kind of go, you've got 45 minutes. At least that like allows some momentum to be maintained throughout the process. Um, and also I think this is the biggest one. You need somebody who's really good at organization, somebody who
Yeah.
doesn't mind, and also you don't mind them basically being a bit bossy and kind of being like, right, lads, come on, like, what are you doing? Lee, come on, pull your finger out your ass. You need to get this, like, all your fucking
Yeah,
movement
I'd
done or
agree with
whatever.
that. You almost need a GM, don't you? You need
Yeah,
you need a games master who's not actually playing in the game and
yeah,
is just kind of making things tick along. Yeah,
yeah,
I think, but then obviously no one wants to be GM because they all want to fucking roll
yeah.
dice and do
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So yeah, I think those are the things to bear in mind. I think also, y- like it's possible that you have three versus three, and then you have three versus three next to you, but the three versus three is done on this table, and the three versus three is done on this table. So if you can kind of smush the games down, make them slightly smaller, and then just have them like running alongside each other, although not necessarily at the same times, that also can help as well. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head now. I think if you did want to run it as a proper kind of game where you are actually thinking about tactics, you probably need like a team leader on each team that kind of you almost need like a little huddle, don't you, at the start
Yeah,
of a
yeah,
movement
and
phase of
yeah,
like, right,
100%.
you're going to
Yeah,
do this, you're
and you're
going to
going to
take
need to
that
time it. Yeah,
objective.
you're going to have to time it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then it's kind of like is like some people will enjoy that, but some people
yeah,
won't.
yeah,
I mean, we used to do big games back in first edition, didn't we? Do you remember when we used to
yeah,
go off? We used to have weekends away,
yeah,
and we would get halfway through the day, and usually people would just start drifting off
yeah,
because like it just took so long
yeah.
and not a lot was happening, and it almost break down into just lots of individual games.
That's exactly what it does. Yeah,
So yeah, I think yeah, you just need organization, I would say. You need to it's very easy to just, especially if you're drinking as well, it just slips into a social gathering rather
yeah.
than a game. And if that's what you want, then that's absolutely
And that's
fine.
fine.
But
But people would need to be clear about those expectations.
yeah, yeah, but if you do want it to be kind of like a large battle, then you need to organize it. You need kind of team leaders on each team. You probably need a GM to manage it all. And the GM can get involved in stuff. You can have, I don't know, like a force of whatever that he takes
Hmm.
control of, like so
Hmm.
he's doing something. But yeah, you need someone to crack the whip, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Is what I would say. Hopefully that's been beneficial. But yeah, it's just so easy. Just lots of little conversations start happening, and then people start like, "Oh, I'm still moving," and they're on the charge phase. You're like, "Oh, fuck, it's all gone wrong."
Yeah,
So yeah.
100%.
Witcher 23. Recently, Dan discussed his hatred of the Mastodon because it feels like a one-trick pony. With that in mind, what is the best way to get a melee Leviathan Dreadnought close enough to actually contribute to the battle?
Great
Well,
question. Great question.
great question.
Hmm.
Personally, I would say fuck Dan and take a Mastodon because they're awesome and you can just deliver a Leviathan straight into your opponent's throat. But if you didn't want to take a Mastodon, what we're looking at, Rob, the
So Charybdis,
Charybdis, that's
to
what
take
it is.
a Leviathan. But I think the problem
It's
is
a
that it's like
massive point sink for one model, though, isn't it?
that's exactly it. It's like 200 and something points. So
You basically,
it's obviously cheaper than Mastodon. It can only take one Leviathan though, and on top of that, it might not come in because you need to roll it on the 3+.
yeah,
And then on top of that, it's the size of a bloody basketball. Um,
and
so
weighs it's the
yeah.
weight of a small child. Yeah,
So a Charybdis would be the most obvious one in comparison to a Mastodon. I think now I played Tom down at the club the other day, but
yeah,
also I
yeah, yeah,
played him at Cryptic Cabin a little while ago when we were doing the league, and he basically had a 2.0 list. And when I rocked up, he was like, "This is basically what I had in 2.0. I haven't kind of geared it up for 3.0 at all. I'm just going to see how it goes." And he had two Leviathans, both armed with Phosphex dischargers,
yeah,
the Melter Lance, and a Siege Drill. And I was like, a Leviathan in third edition walking across the board. Oh, I'm going to take this down really easily. But because he had the redundancy of a second Leviathan,
yeah,
actually, they were much scarier than I had assumed. Because you can plow a lot of fire into one of them to get rid of it. And remember, these things can smoke screen now, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah,
much more
yeah,
survivable than they were. Because before they couldn't get that 5 up from Shrouded because they were fearless, but now they can. And it, like you can deal with one, but if you dealt with one, the chances are that the second one is kind of got into a unit, got into your lines, causing mayhem with that phosphates discharger. So I think that rather than how would I get a Leviathan Dreadnought into close combat? I'd probably take more than one Leviathan Dreadnought
yeah.
as
That's very
redundancy
interesting.
and
Yeah,
contingency. And actually, I don't think in previous editions, if you'd taken three Leviathan Dreadnoughts in one list, I think people would be like, "That's insane" and just way over the top. I think now, if you take three Leviathans in a list, I think people will be like, "Yeah, all right, like." Fine. It might be a bit tricky to deal with the second and third one, but they're nowhere near as strong as they were previously.
yeah,
And if you're limiting the phosphex discharges on, just on maybe one or two of them, I think that people will be like, yeah, that's fine. And then the other
nah,
one, the
fuck
final
that.
one, is I think I'm right in saying that you can take a dreadnought drop pod for a Leviathan. I might have to double check that, but I think you can still take a dreadnought drop pod for a Leviathan. And I think that you should seriously consider a close combat dreadnought Leviathan in a drop pod because you can come down in your opponent's back lines. Like you can shoot with the melter lance, and then you've got a melter gun in your siege drill hand, and you can't charge the first turn. But you can't be intercepted either because you can only intercept the pod, not the guy coming out of it, because that's the way drop pods work now. So you're a bit more survivable that way. Your opponent has to deal with it. So that means that they either have to turn all their guns towards it, all their tanks towards it, so they're exposing their rear armor to you and your guns, or they just ignore it, and then before you know it, that Leviathan's kind of like punching into stuff. So I still think that the Dreadnought drop pod is still a legitimate uh, way to get it in. It's just that it probably is not fighting in close combat until the third turn. And the follow up to that will be if you've got Dreadnought drop pod, then really consider a Master of Descent on the board to get it in automatically.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you
Yeah,
can take a Leviathan and a Dreadnought drop pod
yeah,
up to bulky 7s. You can take a Leviathan, you
yep.
just can't take a
A
Saturn.
Saturn, yeah,
But it is interesting, isn't it? And people, just because you've equipped it with close combat, it still has quite a bit of shooting. You've got your Phosphex
yeah,
launcher, your nipple guns,
yeah.
you got a gun in each hand. Like
Well, I
it's
mean,
still throwing out some weight.
you always say, but bear in mind that these things, the Leviathans, like they're not like the 300 point, 350 point investments that they were. They're like
No,
230
yeah,
points
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
You always say basically Leviathan is a mechanism with which I take phosphates in my
Yes,
list.
yeah. It's so good.
Um, you
So
know,
fucking good. Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
just viewing it as a 200 point phosphex, a survivable
yeah,
phosphex
yeah, yeah,
discharger,
yeah, yeah.
is perhaps the way to also
But
view it as
the
well.
idea of three of them walking across the table appeals to me a lot. I
Yeah,
like that. I
yeah.
really
I mean,
like
they're not
that.
cheap. They're not
No,
like 120 points or
no,
whatever.
no.
But like, they're nowhere near
But
the
they're not like
thousand
the
points
320. Yeah, yeah,
that they used to be, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, you could take
yeah,
four of them in 1,000 points. Um,
yes.
And like,
Now
it's the
you're cooking.
redundancy. That's the thing. Your opponent can deal with one or two of them, but they're not going to be able to deal with the third or fourth. So
No.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I forget about dreadnought drop pods. They really need to make plastic
man,
dreadnought drop pods.
I'm
Like,
desperate for
just
them to make it.
fucking
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Hopefully that was helpful, Witcher. Theo B424, B424. I'm trying to build a loyalist Emperor's Children force, not set on Istvan. And I'm struggling to inject enough Legion flavor into it, as most of the unique EC options being traitor specific. I currently have the Mark IV box and some jet bikes I brought and painted a year ago when I first envisioned the force. I usually play IF. Ooh, Jesus. So I'm looking for an elite, fast attack focused force as a change of pace. How can I introduce more flavor into the list in regards to lore, modeling, and rules? So yeah, I fucking love the idea of an elite Emperor's Children force. We had a quick discussion about this, didn't we? And like I know you say that most of the unique EC options are traitor. Like there's quite a few options that aren't traitor specific. So like Phoenix Terminator squads, like some probably a little bit small now, but just like some of the best models I think Forge World has ever produced is the Phoenix Terminator Squad, the Palatine Blade Squad, like they're all can be used by loyalists. You obviously have to be careful with your characters. But man, I think like veteran assault squads, veteran despoiler squads, if you want to lean into that elite, like command Terminator squads in some sort of transport to shove them down your opponent's throat. Like I love the idea of jet bikes. You can still take like veteran heavy support squads. You just obviously can't do the cacophony. You can't lean into the what's the fucking voice screechy things? I can't think what they're called.
Sonic Shriekers.
Sonic Shriekers, because obviously that's traitor only. But I mean, for me personally, yeah, I'd be leaning into like assault squads, veteran assault squads, that sort of thing. And then looking at the Forge World, well, not Forge World, the kind of Legion specific bits to add some flavor, like the Lancers, things like that. What do you reckon, Robert?
Yeah, so a couple of things to break down. So I guess in terms of lore, it's a loyalist Emperor's Children force, but not Isfan 3. So I guess you're
Yes.
kind of suggesting that it's a force either that's been annexed from the Legion early on, perhaps it's had a Lord Commander that Fulgrim trusts so
Which
much
is
that he just lets him kind of like do his own thing.
I just interject quickly there, like because obviously the Emperor's Children, one of their things during the Crusade was to be used as like bodyguards for like Imperial whoever. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's at all in the realms of impossibility that an Emperor's Children force was like dispatched with some governor to
No,
go and do
no,
something.
no,
So I
no.
actually think like the idea of an elite bodyguard force that's loyalist, they obviously hear what happened on this and are like, oh my God, our Primarch's a dickhead. Like we're
Yeah.
loyal to the Emperor. It's actually, I think, a really flavorful
Yeah, man. And like it's not
idea. Yeah.
I mean it's totally uh Eidolon is on the proud I think the Proud Heart or his own ship. Like he's not with Fulgrin at the time when
Yeah.
he
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
attacks Murder. It's not uncommon for these like quite senior praetors and commanders within legions to be on their own. So I think I'd
Yeah.
base it
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the interesting thing, I mean, the other one is to go check out Raptor Imperialis because he does brilliant like conversions and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the other thing I think is that obviously the Emperor's Children we focus quite heavily on close combat because that's where the Legion rule is, the +1 to initiative. So of course, exactly as Lee said, you want to really going to focus down that. But also, within those early books, the Emperor's Children, the perfection of war is often about overlapping lanes of fire, catching your enemy in like pincer movements. Like their style of warfare is not just hand to hand close combat, that we would focus on like Lucius being. There's when you look at Tarvitz of Isfan 3, the idea of like catching people in boxes and lanes of fire. Lee will know more about this than me, but that is also how they perfected their style of war. So I think if you want to go for something fast, I'd be looking at Sakarans.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all of the
Yeah.
kinds
Yeah.
of different Sakarans. Jet bikes, exactly as Lee said. Speeders, like Proteus speeders, I think would be good. Yeah, particularly with Grav to pin your opponent in place and then catch them in combat. I mean, what's more perfect than that? Pinning an opponent in place and then catching them in
Yes. Yeah.
combat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
surely
Yeah.
that's like the epitome that
Yeah.
Fulgrim and the Emperor would have wanted to have achieved. So I think that, yeah, and then sabers would be the other one as well. Like the Emperor's Children use a lot of like outflanking maneuvers. Like we've kind of lost that with the Mariskara, but previously the Mariskara was like, again, that perfection of war, catching people unawares, and then you used to be able to outflank 2 or 3 units on a turn that you wanted. And yeah,
Yeah.
you can have that with your sabers, right? Because they've got the outflank rule. So I think, yeah, all of those things that we discussed there, we talked about a lot of things there, but those would be kind of my starting points and my platforms for starting an Emperor's Children force.
I actually love this idea. I see. I steer towards veteran units because, like I say, in my head, it's like a bodyguard force that's been sent off to protect some high-ranking person. So that's where I feel like the veteran
Yeah,
kind of side of it fits into to my idea of what this force is. But yeah, hopefully it's given you some ideas. But I think this could be a really
yeah, no.
cool idea. I mean, I would also not be against sticking in some custodes as an allied
Hell
force.
yeah.
Yeah, like something like that, I think would also be pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully it's given you some ideas. But yeah, let us know how you get on. Show us some pictures because also like color scheme. So for me, like Loyalist Empress Children lean more into that royal purple
Yeah.
than the kind of
More lavender
pinky
is what's
purple.
called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's something else to think about as well, keeping them very regal.
Yeah, not magenta in terms of their tones.
No, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, let us know how you get on. It sounds like a could be a cool little force. Hermit hobby themed armies seem more popular than ever. Do you think it's a reaction to lack of rights of wars and players still wanting to restrict themselves to X things over whatever is optimal, or something more to do with third ed itself? So I have a few thoughts on this. Honestly, I think a lot of this sounds very fucking big-headed to say, but I feel like a lot of these conversations started after Rob did the Disintegrator show. I'm not saying like Heresy Hammer is like the main reason people have started doing this, but I think it is a reason. Like we have quite a lot of followers now, and I think Rob doing the Disintegrator video made people realize, you know what, actually, like this looks fun. Like if I kill half my army, like so fucking what? I've had fun. And I think there has been conversations in different groups around that of people. I mean, we've been sent screenshots of other conversations where people are like, "Oh, I saw this video of disintegrators, and now I'm thinking maybe I'll do an all Volkite force or whatever it is." So I think that is one reason. I don't think that is the main reason. I think that is one reason why people are having these conversations now. I think a second reason is people just got a bit fed up of just playing like line scoring, scoring objective missions, and you get to a point of doing that. Like we're what, a year in now to third edition. Like people have kind of done that and they're like, oh, you know what, like that's a bit boring, but what can I do to win? And then they've just gone, you know what, actually, I don't fucking care now. I'm just going to run a list that I want to list. I think there is an element of, I don't know how you would word it, almost addition like fatigue of just like free tech squads, free
Like
rhinos, go
meta
and
fatigue,
score.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah, meta fatigue. Yeah, that's uh, and now people are just going, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to run what I want to run. Like James's army with his all Saturnine that he did for the painting challenge. I think that's another one actually that I almost forgot about that, where a lot of people were like, fucking hell, that's amazing.
Mm.
I'm now going to go do an all Saturnine army. So I think, yeah, just seeing different armies like that. I mean, we're in a bit of a bubble because we see what we do. We don't necessarily see what's happening in a group in fucking Aberdeen. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I think, yeah, some people have just done some weird and wacky armies, and now people have gone, you know what? That actually looks really fun. I'm not going to worry about scoring all the objectives, and I'm just going to make an army
Yeah.
that is fun. Do you agree with that? Do you?
Yeah, I think there's absolutely. I think being a year in as well, I feel like a year is like a point where people kind of like stop and reflect and
Yeah,
go, what is it that I really do want to get out of this hobby? I think that what you'll tend to find is that people who've stuck to Horus Heresy for a year in third edition, they'll tend to be those people who are quite motivated by the game, the lore, the stories, playing with friends, and they haven't, they've not necessarily left it by the wayside because 40k has dropped, for example, or whatever. So I think that their impetus and motivations will not necessarily be like, oh well, just like winning is the most important thing. Yeah, you can do 40k and Horus Heresy, and I understand that it's more complicated than as I've just described. And also, I think on top of that as well, I mean, Maelstrom, it's difficult,
yes, yeah,
exactly as you say,
yeah,
Lee. Like it's difficult because it's weird seeing people talk about line actually now, particularly over the past 2 months, because I've only played Maelstrom basically for 2 months straight now, and Line and Vanguard just they're non-existent in Maelstrom basically. So it's funny seeing people talk about tactical squads being an issue or kind of like lists being an issue because people locally are just really taking whatever they want, and it's still making for interesting and dynamic games because
yeah,
they literally
yeah,
can take what they want. Like I played Tom obviously the other day. He took like 3 assault squads. I think he took like 1 tactical squad, and again, that's just because of what he
yeah, yeah,
had.
yeah, yeah,
But those assault squads were scoring; they could get into combat, all those things.
yeah.
So, playing that for 2 months solid, like, has solved a lot of issues and has allowed and unlocked people being able to take the kind of lists that they want as well. So,
Yeah, I do think as well, we're a year in, if you've been playing for like I would say like third edition was such a big change from
mm,
second and first edition that like I feel now people are really kind of into the game third edition. They understand the
yeah,
mechanics, they understand the list building. I think a
yeah,
lot of people struggled with list building initially.
yeah,
But I also think there's been so many events now because the missions themselves, like people had to change like Line, Vanguard, all this
mm,
stuff. Like I don't think if you go to any events, there's probably not many people who meet up for a game with their mate and would open up the rule book and play a mission.
yeah, yeah,
They're probably playing a mission that they enjoyed at an event from somewhere. Or, this is one thing I did want to talk to you about actually is well, I was watching an old video we did. I was looking at something for an idea I had. And someone mentioned about like collating all the missions from event organizers, and I
mm,
would love to do something like that of like just contact every single event organizer, just get them all collated into one PDF of every mission we've ever produced, and then just have them printed or something. I mean,
yeah,
whether
it'd
we'll
be
ever have
awesome.
the time to do it, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
But something like that, because then you've just got this whole swathe of missions that you can choose from that don't just evolve around grabbing an objective. So yeah, I think there's been a lot of change in a year, and I think there's a lot more change to come now with Zone Mortalis dropping.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, I was looking at pictures on our WhatsApp group, and people are doing like city fight games and stuff. So
Yeah.
if you don't have a ZM board, they're
It's
doing
interesting that,
other
isn't it? Yeah,
ways.
people are just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
well, I'll just like make the board a 12 by 3 and take all the terrain that I've got and just smash it into
yeah,
an area
yeah,
and do it
yeah,
that way, which is, I think, is
yeah,
genius. Yeah.
yeah. So people are coming up with ways of playing ZM that don't necessarily have ZM boards. So I think that's going to change themes of lists. So yeah, I think that there's a lot to it. I think there's a lot to it, and yeah, it's really interesting to see.
Mm,
Like the whole disintegrator thing was,
mm,
for me personally, a turning point of like,
mm.
oh, you know what? Because I had completely ignored disintegrator weapons, and then I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? This actually looks quite fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully we start seeing more and more themed armies coming back in because I do think it was something that was lacking from the heresy. Maybe again, it's just the bubble I'm in. I didn't necessarily see what other people are doing, but yeah, hopefully, because let's face it, that's what the heresy's about, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
Stuart Watley How likely is it that GW will add a scouring element to Horus Heresy? I think it is very likely. I would actually be fucking amazed if they didn't do it. I guess the question is, I would rephrase this question and when do you think GW will do a scouring element? Because I think it's inevitable we're going to see it. Like, I would be fucking amazed if we didn't. I guess the trouble is they want to squeeze as much out of the heresy before they move on to scouring, really, don't they?
Yeah, I mean,
And I don't know how they would
it's
do it.
interesting there. I think what's made it more complicated the question that you've asked, Stuart, is because I would have assumed that with this fan, and this fan part one, they would have done it in a linear way, but they haven't done that at all because we've
No.
seen that quite clearly from the fact that we've now hopped back in time to Prospero. So Prospero happens before anything within the Horus Heresy. And so they are not treating the timeline as linear. So that then means that you haven't got a direction. So it could come out, in 6 months' time. It could come out in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
Exactly as Lee says, I think it's inevitable. What format that will take, I don't know. Whether it will be like in 10 years' time, the big box set and it is the scouring, whether it will be
Yeah.
like it will be a game on its own, or whether it will be like like a series of journals that we get. I think the thing is that like they've got a precedent for all those things now. So who knows?
I mean, we've got the Black Library books coming out. I know we mentioned earlier
Yeah,
on, like
yeah,
we're quite
exactly. Yeah,
surprised at how
yeah.
slow they've been releasing that. We've just had the one book, is it? I
The one,
think Ashes
yeah,
of
the Paladin one.
Imperium.
Yeah,
But it makes sense to release Scouring stuff alongside releasing the Black Library Scouring books. Essentially, what they did with Heresy back in first edition. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it as some sort of journal.
yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Like, I would love to see a series of journals, just introducing like new units, like Veterans of the Long War style Chaos
Mm,
C
mm.
Bide traitor units. But then it depends how far they go into the scouring, because they obviously chase I don't know a huge amount about the scouring. I think it's probably one of those things where they have quite a lot of scope to just create new shit.
I agree.
But essentially, they chase the traitors back to the Eye of Terror is mine as far as my knowledge of the scouring goes.
Mm.
So there's so much in there, isn't there? Like you've got Imperial Fist and Iron Warriors, the
Yeah, I suppose that
where
what
they
they might
ambush them in that.
say to people, if we had one of the studio team here, they might say, "You have the scarring. It's called Shattered Legions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All of the
yeah,
legions are shattered, and you
yeah,
have the ability to do that
yeah,
right at this moment in
100%.
time."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. It will be complex, however they do it, I suspect, but it won't be for a long while yet, especially if we've only just gone back to Prospero. So
This is where the next journal after Prospero
it's the
is the
scouring,
scouring.
yeah.
But I'm excited for it. I
Oh
want it.
man,
I
yeah.
want to see and also if you think like 40k, they're kind of moving away from whatever they call it, the firstborn, the normal like
Yeah, man.
Marines, and like Primaris is now kind of the thing, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
that's going to be their thing. So it would be cool to see like Mark 7 models start filtering in to the scouring because Mark 7 kind of comes it was at the end of the
It was the
heresy
end, yeah, yeah,
essentially,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and like Godwin bolters are seeing like the kind of early 40k bolters
Yeah.
being produced, like stuff like that. I think that would be a cool like tactical squad. uh yeah, I just think we will probably see like a lot of other heresy stuff before we ever see anything like that. But
Yeah.
I would be fucking amazed if it isn't on their to-do list of things. Like how far they're into planning for it, who knows? But yeah, I'm excited for it. Like I think it's one of the things I loved about playing Heresy in first edition is you had this constant release of like a new heresy book, which unlocked like a new little bit of lore, or you had a new model like the Leviathans. Like I remember seeing the Leviathan the first time, you're like, holy shit, that's fucking amazing, you know. And I'd love to have something like that with the Scouring, where they start releasing, you know, more like a Hellbrute, but not like the derpy 40k Hellbrute, like an actual cool as fuck Hellbrute, you know, these sort of things, and kind of going down that rabbit hole. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited for it. That's it for the questions. Like lots of questions. Thank you everyone who did give a question. Apologies if we didn't get around to answering. Shall we have another quick break and then we'll go into the list?
Let's do it, baby. Heresy Hammer is proudly sponsored by BANDUA Wargames. BANDUA Wargames is a wargaming retailer based in Spain. Their stock is vast and covers every game imaginable, but most importantly, it also covers the Horus Heresy. They also create high quality MDF terrain for wargaming. This includes sets for frontline wargaming, as well as battles set within the confines of a battle barge. We have been using their Zone Mortalis set at Heresy Hammer HQ, and we are absolutely loving it. It's modular, high quality, robust, and easy to store. They also offer a range of accessories for Heresy Gaming as well. Heresy Hammer patrons receive a 10% discount on all their own brand terrain, accessories and mats. Make sure you check out BANDUA Wargames today via their website, banduawargames.com.
Right, welcome back. Let's get straight into it. So up first is Charlie with the Pride of the Alpha Legion, 3,000 points. What do we have here? So we have a Praetor and Cataphracti. What has he got? Paragon Blade, Bane Strike combo. We've got Master of Signals with the Rewards of Treachery Prime. Legion Champion and Cataphracti. We've got 2 Rhinos with the obvious Havoc launcher. 5 Crimson Paladins. 2 Power Fist Iliastus Assault Cannon, Blade of Perdition on the Sergeant. Interesting. You don't see that very
The
often.
line 1 though, and they've got deep strike as well.
Oh,
I can sense a theme with this army that we'll talk about in a second.
So up first, Auxiliary Veteran Carder. We got a 7-man Veteran Tactical Squad, Nuncio Rotor Cannon, Thunderhammer on the Sarge, Land Raider with Twin Las Cannon. We have Apex Army Vanguard, 8 Lernian Terminators with a whole mixture of weapons, a 5-man Lernian Terminator Squad, and 7-man Veteran Tactical Squad. So what do we have now? We have 2 7-man Veteran Tactical Squads, 2 Lernian Terminator Squads, and a Crimson Paladin Squad. So they all have line.
Yeah.
Interesting. Auxiliary Headhunter Leviathan detachment. We've got 2 5-man Seeker Squads with Nuncio Vox, another Land Raider with Twin Heavy Flamer. Love it. Oh, Land Raider Exploratory with Twin Heavy Flamer, and 2 Tarantula batteries with Melter. And logistical benefit, which takes a Charybdis Assault Claw.
This is a very good list. This is very good.
This
Yeah.
is so what is going in the Charybdis Assault?
So it must be the 8
Claw, the-
Linnaeans plus the Praetor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So shove them down your opponent's throat, knock a unit off scoring
Yeah.
objective, and
Yeah.
then score. I mean, I love how we talk about like, yeah, no, just play missions, and then we're immediately like, yeah, fucking line, yeah, fucking.
I think I suppose what this does is it allows it to compete in lots
You
of different
can do
different
all
missions.
sorts. If you
Yeah.
need line, you can do line. If you need to punch things, you can punch things.
Yeah.
Seeker squads. We don't see a huge amount of Seeker squads,
Not massively.
or I
but,
haven't. But I think they're fucking great.
they're great. The Kraken bolters are just they're probably a little overpowered, but I think 2
So
5-man
good.
squads is in a
Yeah,
3
yeah.
is fine. Like that, nobody should have an issue with that at all.
And screams Alpha Legion.
Yeah. There's nothing that isn't on theme with this list at all.
Well, we've got
yeah.
2. So you got 2 Land Raiders as well.
So there's one of the Crimson Paladins will go in the Land Raider, and then one
And
of
then-
the Linnaeans will go in the Land
Yeah,
Raider as
okay.
well.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I obviously love this. Like, I feel like Alpha Legion are probably one of the few legions that you can actually do this, because obviously Lernian just come
Yeah.
with NN8 line built into them.
Weapon skill 5,
Like,
did they have hatred legionaries or status as well?
oh, good.
Can't recall, but I'd have to
Oh,
check. But
yeah.
they're very, very good, and the range of equipment just from the core rulebook is off the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very, very good list, and I think they could throw a lot of people off its feet as well. Um, yeah, this is yeah,
Hatred Legionnaires Astartes.
yeah, I thought
Yes.
so.
Oh.
Yeah, so they get +1 to wound. I think that is, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I'm not sure actually. Yeah,
These
yeah.
are brilliant. Yeah, these are good.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
not
this.
sure I could actually give any feedback on this because I think it's a very strong list.
Well, I'll give feedback. I replaced your Havoc launchers. Come on.
Go for
I
it. Go
I
for a heavy
fucking love
bolter.
this. I love this. If I was an Alpha Legion player, this is probably
Yeah, man.
exactly what my list would look like. I think the only thing I would say is I would love to see an updated Lernian Terminators model because I love the model, but it's a
Yeah,
little bit teeny tiny now.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I love this. Absolutely love it.
Well
Like,
done. It's
yeah,
brilliant. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
superb. Well done.
yeah,
Yeah, looking forward to give us the data. Oh no.
yeah, yeah. Let us know how you get on. So up next is Otis with his White Scars Militia Force, 3,000 points. So he has a Cataphracti Praetor, Thunderhammer Cyberhawk, Cataphracti Centurion, Thunderhammer, and he has the Paragon of Battle Prime and a Cataphracti Centurion. So all the Cataphractis in the command. We have three 10-man tactical squads with Nuncio. One has a logistical benefit prime, which gives him access to a Castaferum Dreadnought with paired Gravis Fists and a Havoc launcher. Interesting. Auxiliary detachment. Kaiser, how the fuck do you say that? Kaisergan assault speeder with two
Yeah.
hunter killer. So two of them. A tactical auxiliary tactical. So fucking hell, two detachments, both with two Kaisergan assault speeders. So four speeders in total. We have a heavy support auxiliary detachment with another Castaferum Dreadnought, paired Gravis Fist Havoc launchers. You fucking. And another auxiliary heavy support of Castaferum Dreadnought with paired Gravis Fist and a Havoc launch. So we have three Castaferum Dreadnoughts with paired Gravis Fists and Havoc launchers. A Lord of War is the Praetor Armored Assault. Fuck, you don't see that very often at all.
No, you
I
don't.
couldn't even tell you what the rules are for that, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing it has some sort of status. And that comes with a Pintle Heavy Stubber as well. Praetor Armored Assault. For those that don't know, the Praetor Armored Assault. Oh, fuck no, this is the transport one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
There
Yeah.
was two. I think there was two. There was a Praetor which had like a massive rocket launcher on its back,
Yeah.
and there was one that was a transport. I think this is the transport one, but it's a very old, like Forge World resin model, and it looks cool as fuck. So up next then is the Allied detachment. So this is obviously the militia. So we have a command troop with logistical benefit as the prime, two 20-man militia infantry squads with las rifles, and a Le Mans Russ Demolisher with last cannon hunter killer missiles, which is obviously logistical benefits. Up next, we have a tactical support auxiliary detachment with two heavy ordnance battery of rocket bombard, and then a first strike auxiliary detachment with two militia scout rovers with venators with pintle twin lass. So the scout rovers were the things I was talking about when
They
we
are really
mentioned.
good, but
Yeah.
they're not the best with the twin lads. There's another weapon on them that's like a flamer that's horrendous, which is really
Yes.
hardcore. But
And then another auxiliary detachment with two scout rovers. So we have four scout rovers, two heavy ordnance batteries, and then a Le Mans Russ Demolisher and two 20-man infantry squads with a command troop. Like, I really like that. So, like, you've obviously leaning in hard with the Castaferum Dreadnought, with the Gravis Fist and the Havoc launchers, putting down all sorts of statuses. What are your thoughts on this, Rob?
Yeah, so I think this is he's actually taking the Praetor Armor Assault Launcher because it's 305 points and he's paid 5 points for the heavy stubber. So the Praetor, so this is not the transport one,
Oh, okay. This is
but
the rocket
exactly as you
launcher.
said, there
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
transport
yeah.
version.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so this one is sorry, there's a Crassus armored assault transport. That's what you're getting confused.
Okay, I'm thinking of that. Yeah,
So
sorry.
the weapon on this is 72-inch
Cool.
range. It's
Good.
firepower 1,
Okay.
range strength 8, AP 5, damage 2. It's blast 7 inches, barrage 2, and suppressive 2 as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That's not as horrific
No,
as I thought it was going to be.
no,
Um,
it's 12 hull points, 14 on the front. Um, it's interesting this list, isn't it? Because if I faced it, I think you're just like, yeah, I've just got there's a load of units to get through here. Like you just be
yeah.
like, I'm just going to be swamped. There's just loads of little like the militia scout rovers are like wasps, the Kazagans are wasps. You're just going to be irritated for the whole game. And the strategy that he's Otis has gone down is lots of little units that are just going to be
Yes.
really frustrating and really
Yes.
annoying. I have no idea though where his cataphracti are
I
going
was
to
just
go.
thinking that. Are you putting the cataphracti, one in each tac squad,
Yeah,
and just
or
slowly moving them
are you
across the
attaching
board?
them to the militia and you've taken cataphracti in order to get around the I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's an interesting one, this one, but it will be very frustrating to play against. So yeah, cool to see it, but you got a lot of painting to do, my friend. A lot of painting to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. 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 I actually do like this. Like the Castaferum with paired Gravis fists and Havoc launchers like makes my teeth itch a little bit. I'll be totally honest. But I don't hate it, and they're
Yeah,
fucking cool models, so
yeah,
I'll forgive you for that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting. I would love to know where you are putting each of those
yeah,
characters, because obviously, if you are putting them in the tacticals, they're gonna be pretty slow.
yeah,
But if you're just holding rear objectives, then I guess it doesn't matter and pushing your militia forward. But yeah, cool. I do. I like it. Yeah, it's kind of.
bizarre, most
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, nice, cool. Right, let's have a look. What's next then?
Right, we got Otto with 1500 point Zone Mortalis Dark Angels force. So, Zone Mortalis line breaker detachment. We got a Tartarus Praetor Volkite Charger Tyrannic Greatsword.
Love it.
Tartarus Librarian Volkite Charger, 4 sacks. He's got Biomancy and Telekinesis.
Yeah,
7 veteran breaches, Calibanite, Warblade, 2 power mauls, 4 Volkite Charger, Vexilla Nuncio Vox, and that has the Prime Master
yeah,
Sergeant.
love that.
Fuck
Yeah, nice
yes.
one.
So you got what, a weapon skill 6
Yeah,
veteran sergeant
yeah,
that
man.
screams Dark Angels. Like I love that. And 10 Inducti with Volkite Chargers.
Yeah, love it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's I like that.
The whole primary has got Volkites. That's really cool. Love that. Very
Yes,
Dark Angel.
yes, yeah. It's a theme. And then he's got plasma on his Contemptor Dread. Although that does fit Dark Angels, I'll give him that. Linebreaker, Echelon, Apex Detachment. We got 5 Tartarus Siege Terminators, all with Reaper Autocannon, Calibanite Warblade, 2 power mauls, 2 power axes, and they have the Combat Veterans Prime. And we have a
Mm.
Contemptor Dreadnought, Gravis Plasma, and a Gravis Chain Fist. Just the one plasma. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think two plasma cannons on a dreadnought in ZM is too much. Like, don't. Yeah,
It's
it's just too much.
obnoxious.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then a Deathwing Enclave Auxiliary Detachment. We have 5 Deathwing Companions of Tranic Greatswords, 4 Aegis Shields, and they have the Prime Master Sergeant.
oh, that's a
Fuck.
lot of points. It's a lot of points for 5 guys. That oh my god,
Yeah, but that's cool as
275.
fuck. I love that.
Yeah, I
Not
wonder
what
if
they.
it's yeah. I don't know if the Master Sergeant is already weapon skill
Well,
6,
that's
but
what I was going to say.
yeah,
And then to finish off, we have 6 veteran despoilers with 5 combat shields, 2 power mauls, Vexilla Nuncio Vox, and the sergeant has paired lightning claws. I now want to see if the Deathwing what is it? Companions.
Companions.
Oh,
Yeah.
their weapon skill 5.
Okay. Yeah.
That would have been fucking hilarious.
Man, he's
I
really
love this.
encapsulated the
I
Legion really nicely,
yeah,
hasn't he?
I love this. Like, I think veteran. Like, I mean, I'm just a big fan of veterans, obviously, because every list we have that has veterans in, I'm just there like fapping away.
Oh yeah.
But I do feel like veterans and Terminators just fit the Dark Angels vibe so well.
Yeah, man.
And then sticking Master Sergeant on them is just, yeah, top tier. I love this. Is there anything you would change?
I'm not sure. I think I think it perfectly encapsulates the Legion, and I think you could look at the power mores on the veteran spoilers and be like, "Oh, they should be power swords." But like in medieval
Nah,
combat, they took
yeah.
great big bloody clubs, didn't they?
I mean,
it's like it's
literally,
still
all
like
these weapons
six
are
of the thing,
based off like medieval weapons, aren't they?
and
So,
totally fine for the Dark Angels. So yeah, I
yeah.
think that you've encapsulated this really well. Not much I'd change, and looking forward to seeing what the data that you have on this is. Really nice. Yeah,
But
love
look
it.
at this. This is a list without a single line unit.
Yeah, well, I think the inductee are
Inducti, do
line
they have
one.
line 1?
I think they've got line one. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, veteran breaches,
But lots of
Vanguard.
Vanguard here. So we got veteran
Yeah,
despoilers with Vanguard. We
yeah.
got Tartarus siege terminators with Vanguard. Veteran breaches with Vanguard. Yeah, love it.
I mean, I would argue the downside of having a very elite force is your opponent is probably going to dominate areas easier if they're leaning into, like tac squads,
Not if they've been
normal
utterly
breach squads.
melted by
But that's
Volkite charges,
isn't it?
though.
Yeah. If you've been like chopped to pieces by your weapon skill 6 sergeant, then yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
man.
mean fuck all. I love this. Absolutely love
Yeah, well done.
this.
It's a great list. Awesome.
So Jacko up next with a Black Shield's 1500 points Zone Mortalis list.
Yeah.
So Black Shield Oath. So in
Yeah.
disgrace, all are equal, and pride is our armor. Are you able
So
to
yeah, so basically,
explain what that means?
quick explainer on Black Shields. So basically, you get a flat Black Shields rule, which is that you get, I think I'm right in saying you get +1 toughness if you have 1 status, or if you are status, and then +2 toughness if you are if you have 2 statuses. And then on top of that, just flat rule, you can then have another 2 rules on top of that. If it's in your primary detachment, if it's an allied detachment, it's just 1 extra rule on top of that. And so what Jacko has gone for is these 2. So in disgrace, all are equal. I believe, again, I'm not an expert on Black Shields. I believe this is the one that doesn't allow you to take command and high command, but it means that all of your slots
Can take
become
prime.
become a prime, but the only prime that can be taken is petty warlord. So that basically just makes like your sergeant in each squad. But the best equivalent would say he's like a master sergeant, right? That's like
Yeah,
kind
okay.
of like gets buffs, right?
Yeah.
And then pride is our armor.
One of those buffs being +1 weapon skill. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then pride is our armor allows basically all of the troop slots. You can't take troops; they just get replaced by elites, I believe. So this is a super elite force, but also it's got, I mean, you can see how small it is for 1,500 points, but it's got no HQs in, because all the HQs are basically the petty warlords within each unit as well. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with Black Shields.
I can tell you already, I'm going to love this list because it's everything I love.
And
Like,
if you are a Black Shields player and I got that wrong, put it in the comments below
Yeah,
about
yeah, let us
how
know.
incorrect I actually was
Yeah.
with that.
because I love it when you tell us when Rob is wrong. So he's got the same Mortalis Bulwark, Detachment, 10 Veteran Breachers, 3 Chain Axes, 4 Last Cutters.
That's cutters, what? Whoa.
Can you take 2 per 5? I thought it was 1.
I'd have to.
Yeah, I
I
need
think
to double
they've
check
changed
that.
it. Yeah, I think they've changed that. I'll have to double check.
Yeah, double check that. In my head, maybe it is. In my head, it's 1.
While you read it,
per
I've got my
5.
book ready to rock and roll. So
check.
I'll check.
We have 1 Power Fist and Vexilla, 1 Power Fist and Nuncio Vox, and the Sergeant with the Thunder Hammer. 340 points for 10 dudes. That is a lot of points in 1 unit.
Yes, you can
And
take
I
4
am-
las cutters.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You can take.
I did
you
not
can-
realize
It's
that.
because it's the way it's
Why
worded.
am I
because
only taking 2?
because I think
Holy
they
shit.
changed it from the PDF rules.
Motherfuckers! Holy shit!
So for every 5, 2 can have a
Damn.
special weapon. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm a big
Load up
fan
on those las cutters, baby.
Yeah, I really like las cutters,
Yeah,
but
they're
the
brilliant.
downside of las cutters is you can only have 2, but now you can't. You can have 4.
Look at that. Yeah, man.
And obviously this has the prime petty warlord, so you have a weapon skill 6 veteran sergeant with a thunder hammer. I fucking love it. Like, I love everything about this. I need to go off and look at the black
Mate,
shields.
It's a black hole. It's a
holy
black hole
shit.
full of black shields.
And then we have another 10 breachers, all with power lancers. Oh man, again, I love that. As a modeling opportunity, I think that would look sick. Like shields and power lancers, there's something very like, I don't know, like
Awesome, right?
Romanesque, Grecian, like
Yeah.
phalanx, like that's sick as fuck. Vexilla Nuncio Vox, and again the prime petty warlord, 355 points for 10 dudes with a free up save. It's fucking insane, and I love it. So we have 6 veteran heavy support squad, 5 with plasma gun, 1 with flamer, Nuncio Vox, Sergeant with chain axe, and the prime again petty warlord. So why would you not give the sergeant a chain axe? Yeah, I love this. Castaferum Dreadnought, Flamestorm Cannon, fuck
Yeah,
yes.
man.
Gravis Chain Fist, Heavy Flamer, Havoc Launcher. Yeah, love that. I have an old, I can't even think what it's called, like Mark IV Resin Dreadnought that I have done nothing with, and I have the Flamestorm Cannon. Like, so I will be. I've had it for like fuck knows, like 6-7 years and never done anything with it. So that will definitely be coming out for Zone Mortalis. And the Contemptor Dreadnought with paired Gravis Chain Fist, Graviton Gun, and a Heavy Flamer. And then auxiliary detachment, Shock Assault. We have 10 Assault Destroyers, 8 Twin Volkite Serpenter, 2 Destroyer Missiles, Sergeant with Phosphex Bombs, and the Prime Petty Warlord. Like, I fucking love this list. Like, I'm all about this. I need to go and look at the Black Shields. The only thing I would change, and this is just me, and just because I love the idea of it, is I would give the 6 veteran heavy support heavy flamers, just because I love the idea.
Yeah, I love
Just
that.
because I love the idea
Yeah.
of a veteran heavy support squad with heavy flamers.
Yeah, I love that.
And I can't remember who it was. It was one of the Aussie boys. He's done Tortuga Bay Mark V dude with a heavy flamer, and it looks fucking great. And that's why I have a hard on for flamer veteran heavy support. Thoughts on this, Rob?
What's not to love about it? It's awesome. Very heavily based around Vanguard as well. So 4 out of the 6 units are Vanguard. He's just gone
of course,
fuck line. Like, he's not interested in that at all.
Again,
I think veteran heavy sports squads are Vanguard. I'd have to double check that, but
I'm not sure on that. But
I'll have to double check.
Yeah,
I might be telling lies there. I'll double check on that.
but the veteran breachers definitely. I mean, the only thing I would say is, I mean, like, you've got a 10-man squad that's 340 points and a 10-man squad that's 355 points. I would argue that you could have, you could drop a couple of, like, the veterans are going to die. Like, they're 3+ save. I wouldn't necessarily give them all power lancers because some of them are going to die. You just have some chaff. But the flip side of that is they will look so much better with all power lancers.
Yeah, 100%.
So, like, I love this. I love this list. Like, I love the assault destroyers. Destroyer missiles are great. They have phage toughness, so you can weaken stuff. I would love to know how you get on with this force, because
I lied to you.
Yeah.
They don't. Veteran heavy sports don't have Vanguard, but they do have implacable advance. So
interesting.
They can stat fire their not heavy and not ordnance weapons when they get charged. Or
Okay,
charged as well.
yeah,
So
interesting.
that's quite good.
Yeah. I am a big fan. Like, oh man, I have so many ideas right now. In my head.
Cool. Let's have a look
I
at the
hate
next
doing
list.
this. This is why I hate doing this, because I have all these ideas and I'll never get the chance to do
Yeah,
it.
man.
I mean, so I've always wanted a a destroyer's force. And I feel like Zone Mortalis now, third edition Zone Mortalis, is the
Oh, it's
perfect
totally way to do it.
opportunity
Yeah, 100%.
to do an assault destroyer force. Anyways, I am going down a rabbit hole. Fucking hell. I apologize for absolutely murdering your name now, but Radoslav, do we reckon?
Radoslav, yeah. Why not?
Radoslav, whatever. Yeah, I'm English.
Jankowski?
We are the most obnoxious when it comes to other languages outside of English, so I apologize profusely. This is a 3,000 point Salamanders list. So in the primary detachment, we have a Saturnine Praetor. Already love it. Boom, done. Fucking Saturnine. Fist and Hammer, Plasma Blast, Plasma Blaster. Interesting. And he has the teleport transponder.
It's the only.
Oh, is that the only option? You can't take the flamer.
Ah,
Motherfucker.
yeah.
Okay. Teleport transponder and the Draken Scale. Upgrade Centurion with Forge Crafted Power Maul, Combi Bolter, Vexilla, Jack and Scale, Master of Descent, yes. Forge Crafted Power Sword, Combat Shield. We have 2 10-man tactical squads, Vexillas, Nuncio, Bayonets. Interesting. Sarge with Forge Crafted Power Sword and Plasma Pistol, nice. And then 2 Rhinos with a Pintle mounted heavy flamer. I fucking love you for not taking Havoc launchers.
Yeah, boy.
And a Hunter Killer missile on each one, which is also a great addition. Armored Fist Auxiliary Detachment. We have a Land Raider Carrier, Twin Last Cannon, Pintle Heavy Flamer, Buck Yes, Hunter Killer, and Searchlights. Heavy Support Auxiliary Detachment, Saturnine Dreadnought, 2 Heavy Particle Shredder, Disintegrator Cannon, and a Heavy Plasma Bombard. Nice. Shock Assault Detachment, 10 Pyroclasts. I love Pyroclasts, think they're great. 6 Saturnine Terminators, all with Fist Shredder and Plasma Bombard. 410 points for a 6-man squad. Fuck yeah. Army Vanguard, Apex Detachment. 5 Fire Drakes and 5 Seekers of Nuncio Vox and Melter Bombs on the Sergeant, 10 Tactical Marines with... Oh, sorry, I was going to say like 10 Tactical Marines. 10 Veteran Tactical Marines. You ready, Rob? 9 Disintegrator Rifles and a Disintegrator Pistol.
Yeah, boy.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Vexilla, Nuncio Vox and a Forge Crafted Power Sword. I love this list. Like, I really like it. Like, it's kind of, you got a bit of Saturnine, a bit of Tactical Marines. The Pyroclasts, I think, are fucking awesome. I would argue, like, 325 points for 10 Pyroclasts is a massive point sink, but fuck it, why not? Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. So the Master of Descent is...
It doesn't really matter where
No.
he goes because he's got him in because he wants an automatic destrike
Oh,
on
of
the
course,
Saturnine
with the
Praetor
teleport.
and the Saturnine Terminators.
Terminators.
That's why it's-
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, that is very interesting.
So you could just keep it. You could keep it in attack squad. You could put it, just wherever you want, really.
Yeah. Okay. So I would argue that I would probably, instead of the... So I would probably go one of 2 ways. Me, personally. I would either change the Veteran Tactical Marines for a Veteran Assault Squad and shove the Master of Descent in with them and bring them down turn 1. Or I would look at putting the Veteran Tactical Marines in a drop pod and using them after Descent to bring down the drop pod. Something like that to make a little bit more use of the Master of Descent rather than just having him just to bring in the Saturnine Terminators. That's just me personally. But I mean, fucking hell, Saturnine Praetor and 6 Saturnine Terminators suddenly in your backfield is something you have to deal with, isn't it?
That's
Especially
really
with the
frightening.
Salamanders Legion rule.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. Any thoughts?
No, I think I think the list is awesome. I think it clearly uses the Saturnine box as the basis for it, and then he's added things on top of this as well.
Yeah.
I think that is all good. It kind of makes sense. I think the only thing I would say is the disintegrator cannon plus the heavy plasma bombard is not a great loadout on the Saturnine Dreadnought. I
No.
think you want to go for one weapon type and just stick to the one weapon type. The exception might be the Ophion version, but if the benefit of the heavy plasma bombard, two of them, is that you can stand behind a building, and because it's got barrage, it's got 36-inch range,
Boom,
and you can just
boom.
lob
Yeah.
barrages out, which is probably makes a lot of sense. And the great thing about the disintegrator cannon is that it's a real dreadnought killer. I found, and but you've got nothing to fix it if you go down the double disintegrator cannon route. Is the only thing I would
Yeah.
say. And like because of the strength of the weapon and the toughness of your Saturnine Dreadnought, you can never make you can't get any bonuses from your Legion rule for that, because you would ruin yourself on threes, not ones and twos. So it's not like
Yeah.
your Legion
Okay.
rule doesn't kick in. So I'd probably
Yeah.
go for the heavy plasma bombard. And two of the heavy plasma bombards, I think, would be my
Interesting.
suggestion.
I think the only other thing I would say, because I'm guessing the fire drakes are going in the Land Raider,
Yeah, or the
and we've
Pyroclast might go the Labrader.
well, I was going to say like either or, but you've got, I mean, you got two rhinos, so I don't know if the pyroclasts are going in the rhinos, but there's two tac marines, so I would guess if you're putting 325 points into a 10-man pyroclast and 250 points into five fire drakes, I would have a means of getting them where you want to get them.
Yeah, it makes sense
And,
for the Rhinos,
and the
though, I think. Yeah.
pyroclast you can just stick in the rhino. So I don't know if you're leaving one of the tac marines out of the rhino and they're just running around on foot, but I would certainly, like, you kind of want the pyroclast doing something from turn one for
Yeah.
325 points. You want them fucking turning stuff into slag. Just melting shit in the face. But yeah, cool. Like, hopefully, a few ideas. But yeah, I like it. Up next, Space Wolves. Alex with his Space Wolves. We do not see many Space
No.
Wolves. So the primary detachment is a Praetor with a Great Frost Blade boarding shield, Caster of Ruins with jump pack, and he has Biomancy, Centurion with paired lightning claws. We have 20 despoilers with a heavy chainsword, Nuncio Vox Vexilla, and a sergeant with Thunderhammer. I'm a big fan of that. 10 Grey Slayers with combat shields, Fenrisian Axe, Vexilla, Nuncio Vox, and the sergeant has the Frost Axe.
Yep.
And then 10 Tactical Marines just with Nuncio Vox, one Rhino with a Pintle mounted multi-melter and a
Yeah, very
Dozer Blade.
nice. Yeah.
Interesting. Armored Fist Auxiliary Detachment. We have a Land Raider carrier with twin heavy flamer. Love it. A Spartan assault tank.
I assume that's, wow, a lot of stuff could go in there. A lot of different stuff could go in there.
I am hoping the 20-man despoiler squad is going in that Spartan, because that just feels like the most
Yeah.
Space Wolves thing ever.
I think
I would put
that would make the most sense, I think.
I would put like little shields down the side, like you know how they used to, the
Yeah.
Vikings used to put their shields on the side
I think
of
that's
the
exactly I think that's exactly the plan actually for
like
that.
that would be cool as fuck. So we have a Tech Marine Covenant detachment with one Tech Marine Cyber Familiar, and he has the Combat Veteran Prime.
Mhm.
We have an Army Vanguard Apex detachment. We have 5 Varagir Terminators, Frost Axe, Vexilla. They can take a
Yeah.
Vexilla.
Yeah,
Interesting.
man. Yeah.
8 Veteran Assault Marines, 3 paired Lightning Claws, 3 Power Lancers with combat shields. And the Sergeant has a Disintegrator Pistol and
Yeah,
Thunderhammer.
great choice,
Fucking
great
love it.
choice. Yeah.
And then another 8-man Veteran Assault
It's the
Squad,
same, I
which
think. Yeah,
is
same.
equipped exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then we have a Typhon Lord of War with Last Cannon Sponsons. I like this a lot. This
It's
is
good. It's really good. And I
yeah.
tell you what's good about this as well is that you've got two really significant, sorry, four pretty significant close combat um uh challenges to deal
Units.
with.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
You've
yeah.
got your 20 despoilers in the Spartan.
Yeah, yeah,
You've got
yeah.
your Varagir plus your Praetor, and I assume the Caster of Ruins in the Land Raider. Maybe actually no,
Well,
sorry, not the
he's
Caster
got
of Ruins.
jump
Sorry,
pack, hasn't
yeah.
he?
So he's going to go with
So
some of the veterans.
yeah.
So it's going to be the Praetor with the boarding shield and the Varagir, because that's why he's taking the boarding shield to give them heavy. And then you've got two
Oh, okay.
veteran
Yeah, of course.
assault
Yeah.
squads here. as well. And this really does make use of the Legion rule really nicely. I assume the veteran assault marines are just capped out at 6, though. I don't think you can set up beyond 6. So I think their move would be like 5 and then +1 for their setup,
Right.
like for the Legion rule. But yeah, I mean, these are gonna. Yeah, this is a great list. I'm really,
I
really
really
looking.
like it. The only thing
Yeah,
I would
Space Force.
change is I would drop the jump pack and put the Cast of Ruins in with the despoilers.
Yeah,
Shove the despoilers in the Spartan, give them biomancy, fucking strength 6, just 20 strength 6 despoilers charging out of a Spartan
yeah,
is
man.
gonna put some fucking work in. Or try and fit another Caster of Ruin in there. Like, but actually, it doesn't really matter. But I love the idea of just if you've like 20 despoilers, like biomancy, bosh, they're gonna put some work in. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I really like it. Like fast moving, shove them down your opponent's throat kind of feels exactly how Space Wolves should be played. And the Typhon just to whack anything that is a big threat.
Yeah, nice. Love it. Well done. This is great.
Yeah, big fan. Right, Stuart, Alpha Legion, 3,000 point list. We have a Praetor with Jump Pack, Paragon Blade, Master of Descent, Thunder Hammer, and he has the Prime Rewards of Treachery and a Master of Signal. We have a 12-man Tactical Marine Squad, Nuncio Vox, and they have the Addiction Cadre. Love it. Two 10-man Tactical Marine Squads, Nuncio Vox in each, and two Rhinos with pintle-mounted heavy bolters. Again, love it. And then 5 Deliverers with Power Maul and Heavy Flamer. 1 Power Maul, 1 Power. Okay, so 2 Power Mauls, Heavy Flamer, 1 Power Fist, 1 Chain Fist, and the Sergeant with a Power Fist. Interesting.
In No Raven's Talons, that's interesting. That's an interesting loadout, that isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. That's uh Deliverers. I don't know a huge amount about
They're the
Deliverers. I'm
Raven
trying to
Guard.
remember now.
They're the Raven Guard Terminators.
Are they not
Who-
loyalist only, or do they just have different
No, I don't think.
rules?
No,
Are they
and
not? I'm thinking
also
of something else.
Alpha Legion are just like fuck you with that shit. Like not even Alfarius and their special characters aren't
Oh,
locked.
yeah,
They're not traitor or loyalist locked.
but if you take a unit for rewards of treachery, is that locked to traitor or not?
It
Like if
depends.
you had a,
I don't. I'd have to double check whether they have, but
yeah,
I suppose it wouldn't matter because this person would just be like, well, just play as a loyalist for this event or whatever, or a traitor for this
yeah,
event.
true, yeah, no, I just, yeah, I have the, I don't know if I'm thinking of a previous edition with them. Army Vanguard, Apex Attachment is 5 Learning Terminators, Conversion Beamer, and the Prime Master Sergeant. We have an Armored Support Auxiliary Detachment with a Sakaran, just a base Sakaran, and then 2 Sakaran Venators. We have a Headhunter Leviathan detachment with a 5-man Headhunter squad, just armed as they come equipped. 5 Headhunter squad with 4 Combi Melters and 1 Multi Melter. So there's your fucking anti-tank squad. Efrit Disruption Cadre with Melter Bombs, Nemesis Bolter, Sergeant of Power Dagger, and they have the Combat Veterans Prime. And then we have a Land Raider Explorator, Twin Last Cannon, Hunter Killer Missile, Dozer Blade, Prime Advantage, Logistical Benefit, which unlocks the 7-man Praetorian Jump Pack Command Squad. Praetorian Jump Pack Command
Yeah, that's right.
3 paired Lightning Claws, 3 Power Lance, Sergeant with Thunderhammer, and the Combat Shield. Robert, as an Alpha Legions player, how do you feel about
Yeah,
this?
this is great. It kind of ticks all the base. It ticks all the boxes that you'd expect for a list like this to have. It sticks pretty on theme. I think the Ifrit are really good as well, and they can all take melter bombs, which is really really nice. Um, and what I'm assuming here, he's going to put the Linnaeans in the outflanking Explorator. And then he's got the Master of Descent. That will come down first turn with the jump pack command squad. And then if he's still on the table, then the deliverers can deep strike down automatically on the second turn. Yeah, I like this a lot. A good mix of anti-tank and a bit of anti-infantry as well. Um, yeah, I think it just ticks all the boxes. Like it's a bit of a different list. It was going to give you a bit of a headache. There's some stuff infiltrating here. Um, yeah, I like this a lot. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah,
Cool.
I don't see a lot of Sakaran Venators like nowadays.
I
So
was literally just thinking this, and we got three in one list. I mean, you got a Land Raider, three Sicarans, and two Rhinos. Just
yeah,
on vehicles alone, that's a lot to deal with.
yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
And Sakaran Venator, like,
yeah,
I can't remember the last time I saw a Sakaran Venator,
no, no,
which I like a lot. Yeah,
yeah, it's great.
cool. So we got Zachary, Iron Warriors, powerful Iron Warriors, clearly a man of exemplary taste. 3,000 points. He has a Warsmith, a Cataphracti champion with the Prime Paragon of Battle, and a Siege Breaker. Fucking love it. Oh, I'm just looking at this now and I'm like, yes, I fucking love this. We got three 10-man tactical Marine squads with Nuncio Voxers, three Rhinos, two just base Rhinos, one with a Pintle mounted multi-melter and a Dozer blade, and a Land Raider carrier with a Pintle Havoc. We have a tactical support detachment with 10 heavy support Marines with autocannons and one quad launcher rapier with Phosphex. I'm surprised there's only one in there. Armored support auxiliary with two Legion Medusas. And then we have the Hammer of Olympia Apex detachment. We have 10 breaches, two last cutters. Take two more last cutters. Nuncio. Can normal breaches take,
No,
or is
I
it
think
just
only
veterans?
I think only veterans can.
Fucking hell. Two last cutters and Nuncio Vox and the Prime, the unfavored, which
Is it expendable? Is that
yeah,
one?
it gives them expendable one. We have five Tyrant Siege Terminators, Omniscope, 310 points with the prime logistical benefit. And we have a Land Raider carrier, twin last cannon, Havoc launcher, and five Dominators with a heavy flamer. Interesting, heavy flamer, yeah. I like it. Dominators are fucking great, but you hardly ever see them. Like, I've got five built up, but I've never got around to painting them.
I think that if you don't see them, that might be testament to the fact that people probably focus on the Iron Circle rather than taking Dominators.
Yeah, I think Dominators are fucking great. You
Yeah,
can
but
give them
Iron Circle
combi
are
weapons
also
as
fucking
well.
great.
Yeah, but you can't stick Iron Circle in a Land Raider and shove them
No,
down your opponent's throat.
no, it's true.
And if you're playing, so here, going back to the question of how do you deal with Mechanicum, well, Dominators fucking hate Mechanicum.
Yeah, man.
So there's one way of dealing with them. So I really like this. I guess, like, not to be too obnoxious, I would probably try and fit another quad launcher in there. I think just maximize. You've got the Warsmith and you've got the Siege Breaker, which both have the thing that I've just immediately forgotten what it's called.
Cognoscignum.
Cognoscignum, which means you can stick your Medusas and your quad launchers behind cover and just make use of their line of sight and absolutely fucking hammer targets, which you've only got three blast. Like, it can become a bit obnoxious if you've got a ton of blast. It just becomes a bit boring. Like, it slows the game down. Legion Medusas are great. Like, I faced them. Like, you don't see them a lot because they're a legacy unit. But they put work in. Have you faced Medusas?
Yeah, and some kind of nightmare when they're stationary.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah.
But not as obnoxious as they were in first edition, I would
No
say.
way. No.
Yeah, I like this. I like it a lot.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, it looks awesome. Good job.
Yeah, nothing else to add, really. Like I say, the only thing I would maybe drop some of the autocannons and try and stick in another quad launcher. Like, you're paying for the Phosphex from the Siege Breaker. Like, you've paid for the Siege Breaker. Like, make some use and stick some more Phosphex in there would be my only thing, really. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Dominators are fucking great. So Ultramarines, 1,500 points. Raid again. Apologies for butchering people's names. I can barely fucking read at the best of times. So this is a 1500 point destroyer theme for his first army. He's looking for thematic options to expand it. So we have a herald with a legatine axe, melter bombs, and the paragon of battle prime.
Yeah, that's good.
Siege breaker. Got two 10-man tactical squads with Nuncio Vox, and one of them opens up the prime logistical benefit. We have two rhinos with Havoc launchers, a termite with Twin Flamer, interesting, and a Leviathan Dreadnought with Grav Flux Bombard, Phosphex Siege Claw with Melter Gun, and two heavy flamers. Like the Grav Flux is a legit choice nowadays. Like you never
It's really
saw
good.
it for
It's
like two
really good.
editions.
Yeah.
Like first edition, it was so shit. Like so shit. You just never saw it. Tactical support, because the first edition you had to roll under your opponent's toughness or something, I think it was, and like it just didn't do much or anything, but is a legit choice now. Tactical support, auxiliary detachment. We have three quad launcher rapiers with phosphex. See, now this is how you do it, Iron Warriors players. Like just whack them all in. Three quad launcher rapiers with phosphex. We have a shock assault auxiliary detachment with five assault destroyers, twin Volkite Spenters, destroyer missile launcher, and phosphex bomb. And then 10 Nemesis destroyers, two destroyer missile launchers, Nuncio Vox, Chernobyl Sabre, and phosphex bombs on the Sergeant. I have some thoughts on this, but Rob, as the in-house Ultramarines player, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah,
I'm
so I
guessing this is.
suppose, yeah, I suppose what I would say is that, so this is the starting point of a force, and it's interesting that going down like a destroyer base force for your very first force, which is quite bold and exciting all at the same time. There's some really good units in here, and basically what you're focusing on is the panic. Like there's phosphex bombs, like that obviously has panic 3. Nemesis destroyers just have panic 1 on their guns. Like that's just the
Oh,
armor that
wow.
they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you got the phosphex bombs on the assault marines, the phosphex on the quad launchers. I think that this will give you a your opponent a headache, but then on the flip side, if they've taken nuncios on loads of stuff, then it's kind of a bit like it perhaps seems stronger than it on paper than it probably might be in reality. Um, so what you're going to have to do there? Well, you're going to have to then, when your opponent is routed, you're going to have to make the most of that time, that short time, half a turn for you left over, that your opponent is continue to be routed, so they'll be going at initiative 1. So that means that you're going to have to put a fair amount of close combat units into this squad in order to make the most of that before they can nuncio themselves back up, and then they're just like fine and ready to fight. So I think for me, I would kind of go maybe, I'd maybe look to expand with some destroyers, with some terminators maybe, for some sort of close combat heft and close combat punch. You could put them in like the black and the blue of the Nemesis company. I think that'd be fine. Like a couple of Land Raiders in the black and the blue of the Nemesis company. I think that'd be fine. Of course, like there's other obvious things that you can do here, which is to add in more destroyers. I think like that would probably make sense. A second
Yeah.
shock assault unit. I think so that's probably just on the surface what I do to expand. You need a bit of close combat. I think if you really wanted to make your opponent have a terrible time, I think then really need to focus on kind of going, okay, well, I'm going to need to have some seekers in there because I'm going to need to get some precision shots. So that could be precision seekers, or it could be some recon marines, and take out the Nuncio Vox in my opponent's list, and then they're going to be routed for half of my turn and also all of their turn until the end of their turn as well. So that would be an obvious way to go if you really want to maximize the trauma of this list. The other one is maximizing more fear. So more heralds. I think overseers, actually Legion overseers, because they have fear 1, actually have a place, and they're like 85 points. The other thing that you could look at is the librarian with is it telekinesis or telepathy, Lee? Whichever one of those gives the fear 1 bubble.
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, one of them. Yeah.
And then now I think I'm right in saying that you can take single knights as freehold
Yes, yeah.
knights, and then
Telepathy is fair one. Yeah,
telepathy. Yeah. Um, I think I'm right, although I could be wrong about this. I am under the impression that you can take a knight and give it a household rank, as long as you
Ooh,
take it as a free. I want to say freehold, but I don't know if that's right.
free blade.
Free blade.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think you can, but somebody below might be able to correct me on that one. And then you
Yeah.
would obviously want to take the Acheron with the Fear 2, like within this list as well. Because
Mm.
then you're just like, okay, well, my Panic 2 Flamer is also, I'm also Fear 2, and that gives me a big old bubble as well. So that you could really lean into not just like the Phosphex element, but the Fear element and the Flamer element might be the other way that I might expand this force as well. I would also just give up on the idea of you scoring. Like, if anything, you got two tactical squads in there. I would
Yes.
not expand the tacticals now. Like,
Yeah.
just lean into the theme of like phosphex and destroyers. Like, just forget
Yeah.
you're not there to hold computer like fucking
Terminals.
consoles.
Yeah.
You're there to utterly
Melt the computer terminals.
literally the flesh of your opponents. Like, that's the thing you're there to do.
Yeah. So yeah, that I agree totally. I would either like if you've already got them, then you've got them and you've built them, and that's in your force.
It's
But I
fine.
would
Yeah.
lean hard into the destroyers. If you want to destroy a force, personally, I would lean into the destroyers. It's a bit annoying that their shock assault obviously makes it a bit harder than just fitting in tag squads.
Yeah, I think you had a Centurion in though, and then you're just
Yeah,
like, well, two shock assaults, and then
you
yeah,
can have four
you got,
destroyer
you know what I
squads.
mean? The shock assault's actually quite good for.
What? Fucking hell, Christ! I keep forgetting my words today, like an absolute. Uh, uh oh, I can't think what I was going to say. I think you need some anti-tank,
Yeah,
and I like the first thing I think of when I think like destroyer theme is something along the lines of a Typhon. I know it's not, but it's like that kind of dirty artillery, something like that, which can just knock out scary units that your opponent might have. I think it still fits the theme of a
yeah,
destroyer. In my head, a Typhon fits the theme. And then also like thinking of other things like Forge Lord and
oh, with
Thalax.
Thalax, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great shout actually. Yeah.
Thalax
With
to
melter
me,
bombs, yeah, with
yeah,
melter
to
bombs could
me
sort out a lot of
scream
issues.
Destroyer. You know, they're part of the
Yeah, that's a great shout.
God, I really, I think I'm having a fucking stroke, Rob. What was what are they? The Thalax
The
are
reductor, the reductor.
reductor.
Yeah,
That's the word I was
just thank
thinking
God
of.
I'm here for
Oh my
you to make
God,
your brain
fucking
work.
hell, I know, yeah. Yeah, but my biggest thing would I would lean into the destroyers. I would definitely try and fit another couple of fill out that 5 man assault destroyer squad to 10 man, and then fit in another couple of destroyer squads. However you want to do that, Nemesis or from the legacies. I just think yeah, if you want a destroy force, take destroyer units. But I do quite like the idea of Thalax. Thalax feels quite destroyer-esque to me, you
Yeah,
know.
100%. So you got
Um,
loads of ideas there. Loads.
yeah,
Nice.
cool.
Good luck.
Right. Up next, I think this might be the last one, but I'm not sure.
I think it is, yeah.
We got James with a 3,000 point Death Guard list. So we have a Praetor with Thunderhammer Combat Shield. Nice. Cheeky little bonus in challenges. Chaplain with a Cataphracti Terminator armor, Master of Signal, and a Siege Breaker who's taking the prime logistical benefit. So we have 10 Despoilers, 2 Power Axes, Vexilla Nuncio Vox, and the Sergeant has a pair of Lightning Claws, and they have the Interdiction Carder prime. We have all the Inducti. So we have a 20-man Inducti unit, Nuncio Vox, 4 rotor cannons, and 2 10-man Inducti of Nuncio Vox and 2 rotor cannons. We have a 10-man Mortis Poisonous Squad with Phosphex bombs, Nuncio Vox, Alkheim Flamers, and a Termite with Twin Heavy Flamer. The heavy support auxiliary detachment, we have a Leviathan Dreadnought with 2 Grav Flux Bombards, Phosphex Discharger, and 2 Heavy Flamers. Love it. We have an Apex Detachment officer card. You don't see this too often.
No.
Librarian with Alchem caster, telekinesis, telepathy, and he has the combat veterans prime. Nice. So telepathy is again giving out fear. That's interesting. Tactical support, auxiliary detachment. We have 2 squads of 2 laser destroyer rapiers. We have an apothecarian delegation auxiliary detachment with 4 apothecaries, and 1 opens up the prime, which is logistical benefit, which takes a 5-man Praetorian command squad, all with thunderhammers, combat shields, and 1 legion standard. And then last but not least, we have the Storm Battery Auxiliary Detachment. So we have 2 units of 2 quad launcher rapiers with phosphex. So 4 quad launcher rapiers with phosphex in the list. That's 4 quad launcher rapiers with phosphex, just in case you misheard me the first time round. And then we have 2 Arquiter Bombard with the Morbus Bombard. And obviously they are rocking the phosphex. So that is 4 quad launcher rapiers with phosphex and 2 Arquiter Bombard with phosphex. Like, you, James, are a dirty, dirty man. I fucking love this. Like, this is like, it just screams God, doesn't it? It's just bringing all the hate, like all the phosphex, all the hate. Like loads of inducti just to chew, like just throw them in, like yeah, fucking whatever. Mortis Poisoner squad, Leviathan with the phosphex. Like there's just so much phosphex, isn't
But
there?
it's
Like,
nuts,
just
isn't it? Yeah.
phosphex.
This is like my disintegrator list, but just with phosphex. Yeah, this is pretty savage. I really don't know what
Yeah.
you do against this. Like, you've got the
Oh,
grab for pinning.
just
What is
die.
it? Does rotor cause suppress or stun? Or like,
I think they have like stun 0 or
yeah.
something, don't they?
You
Yeah.
got anti-tank in here. You got loads of
But you've got
phosphex. Yeah,
fear in the librarian as well, so I'm guessing you're
yeah,
going to try and shove him as far forward as you can.
yeah.
Like the oh yeah, I mean like 4 quad launchers. Like the only thing I would say is keep fucking around with blast can start slowing a game down a bit. It gets a bit boring for your opponent. Keep grabbing a blast mic. It depends who you're playing against. I often feel if I'm using a lot of blast that, and I'm like, oh, can you just hold this over there and tell me how many of your dudes I can fucking murder? Probably grates a bit thin after a while.
Yeah.
I would say this is probably on the edge of being, I don't want to say like obnoxious, but like, I mean, the thing with the phosphex is it's quite short range, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
mean the quad
remember off the top
launchers
of
are
my
20,
head.
24. I think all the storm battery. I think it's all 24 there.
Yeah, but you obviously don't have to use the
No,
phosphex, do
you've still
you?
got all your other
Yeah.
canisters of murder to be able to.
So yeah, it's only as they get close. I mean, oh fuck, what would I do against this? I guess stay away. Like
Yeah, shooting
stay
from
out of
far away.
range of the phosphex. Like, but yeah, but from a theme point of view, I really like this. Like,
Theme is
loads of
great.
dickhead
Yeah,
inducti, rotor
interesting.
cannons.
Five HQ choices as well. Like, man, in 3K,
Yeah,
that's a lot of HQ choices there, right?
yeah. I mean, it's very third edition esque, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, like I liked it. Is there anything you change? How do you feel about the
No,
phosphex?
I think I probably it's difficult with the Arctors because I've got a real hatred for them, so I'm totally and utterly biased.
Why do you
So
hate
like,
them?
I just think they're too good. I think they're too good
Oh,
for the amount of points
really?
that you pay. Yeah, I think they're way too good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
think they need like a 50 point. If
Yeah, I'd
somebody said
agree
to
with
me
that.
they need to be like a 70-point increase, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Because they're
What
too. I think
about
they're
can
very
the
tanky.
storm battery? Can you switch them for the Medusa? How do you
Maybe
feel
no, because
about the
isn't that
Medusa?
Medusa's a legacy unit, so then you might want
Oh,
to
you can only
swap that
take
out.
the.
Yeah. No.
Oh, you can take Vindicator, Siege
Yeah.
Tank.
Yeah. I think yeah.
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 Okay.
Um. What I would say is it sticks to a theme. I love that many inducti though. I think like
Yes.
that is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
really cool.
Rotor cannons is great as well. I mean, the rotor cannons, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do fuck all.
Yeah, but
But
woe
once in a while,
betide any opponent that comes across this because I think they're going to be pretty fucked.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it's
good luck.
interesting, isn't it? Yeah,
Good luck. I mean, the actually the exception will be some kind of James's Saturnine list.
yeah,
Um, Against this would be all right because you've got a lot of AV-14, and the thing here is that you've got two laser destroyer rapiers, which is really your anti-tank. But if you could stay in that AV-14 until the last second, hop out, and then I think that could cause a bit of a nightmare.
yeah,
Lots of
yeah.
dreadnoughts, like poisoned only works on a 6+ on dread, right? I think.
Yeah, off the top of my head,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think Walker's it's only a 6+. So a dread heavy list also would just be shrug off and laugh off a lot of this.
8 rapier. I mean, yeah, anything that can kill rapiers is what you need against this list.
Yeah, yeah,
Just all the deep striking multi-melter thalax, like,
yeah, man.
is what you need.
Too right.
But I do like it. I like, genuinely, this is like the most Death Guard list ever, really, isn't it? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. That's it. That's it for the lists and the questions. So once again, thank you. If you did send us a list or a question, apologies if we haven't read it out and slagged you off for taking 8 rapier platforms. uh, like I say, if you're desperate, send us another message or just put it up next time. I mean, I don't know how long we've been talking now, but there is literally only so much time we have to talk about lists and questions. But again, thank you very much. We really do appreciate them. Some great questions there. And we will get back to you about the militia, like we will consult our militia experts and give you some good information on that. But before we go, just a big shout out to our Heresy Hammer patrons and especially our Praetor tier patrons. We are few. I think you put up some sneak peeks of the next
Yeah,
giveaway.
I put up a sneak peek this morning as well. I'm starting to reveal the artwork.
Yeah, we there's going to be a few things coming out for the next
Yeah,
giveaway.
man.
It's not just one thing. There's going to be quite a few little bits. I need to check my emails to see if I've heard back from Pro Painted about something from them. So watch this space. But yeah, massive shout out to our Praetors tier and all our patrons. If you are not a member of our Patreon, go check it out. We put up we've been putting up loads of shit, haven't we? But a couple of tacticas, all sorts of stuff, giveaways. Get involved, go check it out. If you've got this far and you haven't subscribed, fuck you. Just fuck you and your mum. You got this far. Come on, just give us a little like, give us a subscribe. Don't be too mean to us in the
I
comment.
fully endorse this message. Fuck you.
We we put these shows out on Spotify. So if you are not a YouTube person or you listen to this when you're in the gym getting massive or getting your
Becoming the
steps
size of
in,
a space marine.
yeah, like check us out on there. Like I've said already, check out our Patreon, Heresy Hammer. We appreciate all the support and love on there. If you do have a question or you want to email us, heresyhammer30k@gmail.com. I would warn you, like, I looked on our email for a message from someone and I was like, holy fuck. Like, since the last time I looked, there's like 500 messages. So if we
How
do,
enormous Heresy Hammer has now become.
yeah. So if the trouble is, we get a message like, because obviously we've got the Heresy Hammer HQ. If you don't know, go check out our website, heresyhammer.com. And we sell like drinks and you can rent tables. And I get an email every time one of those. So it's like a whatever it is, £1 can of Coke or whatever, I get an email about it. It's like fucking brilliant. I don't need this information.
I'm not even
sure there's a
selling
way
the
of
cokes.
turning it.
I'm not even selling them. I'm just pretending to sell them and then sending them the emails that he has to then coordinate through Stripe and Zero
It's
and
just
Monzo.
me losing my mind, putting up fucking 50 bloody Zero bloody fucking account.
This is
thing.
behind the scenes of operating your own podcasting business, isn't it? This is the sexy behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, fuck me. We are obviously on Instagram at Heresy Hammer Show, and we have a very active WhatsApp group. If you wish to join, go look at our Instagram account and in the fucking tree thing. I don't know what it's called. There's a link in our Instagram.
The word
bio.
that Leah's looking for is link tree. So if you
and I'll by the next
like
time we
Lee,
do this,
you'll know
I'll
what
have
a
already
link tree is.
forgotten that because I don't link trees to that. Anyways, thank you. I have lost my mind. It's like 40 degrees in here. I don't know why. I've had to shut because the kids are here, so I've had to shut the door. So I'm in a tiny little room that's just been cooking.
Get them in the shed. You've already said that.
Oh well, yeah. Right. Thank you very much.
Take care, guys.
That has been me and Rob. See you at the next one.
Bye now.